Okay, so can you remember what happened at the end of the last session?
A lot of things happened, but remember where we were at the end. We were going down to Bugger Off the Beggar had approached us, telling us that he had a job for us, or somebody had a job for us. A guy called Rutger.
He was a persona of Bugger Off, wasn't he?
Yes. Was it Bugger Off the Beggar, or was it the Wizard Bin Bag? Who can say?
Oh yes, could have been Bin Bag through Bugger Off.
But
as
apparently
Rutger.
this Rutger Hauer, as I'm going to call him from this point onwards, 'cause
I mean, we were all thinking it.
You can't just, you can't use the name Rutger and then,
Not thinking Rutger Hauer,
yeah. He needs help building a watermill, apparently, in a village, I think it's a village called Grousey. And he's at the docks has a boat called the Trondafir.
That's it.
See, I'm not sure if I spelled it right, but whenever you tell me the name, Steve, I always write them down phonetically. And that's how
I would have pronounced it Trandafir because it's R-A-N.
It may have been. Yeah. See, my handwriting is appalling.
Effectively, it's German. So if you just said Trandafir, I just imagine some Germans probably think that's how you pronounce it.
And that was the start of the adventure titled "If Looks Could Kill."
That's right.
Yeah.
It is. Hoping none of you have looked it up online.
No.
In the intervening time.
Yes,
so that's
meticulous, mate. Word for word.
Committed the whole thing.
I mean, no, of course not, Steve. No.
He knows exactly what to ask. And who to kill.
Yeah.
So, you are now aboard the Trandafir, a river barge hired by your new employer, a merchant named Rutger Rooter. The vessel is in poor shape. Faded paint peels from its age-worn timber. Its deck is stacked with teetering piles of wooden crates, barrels, and building supplies. The crew are Strigony, wandering folk of the old world known for their dark superstitions. They seem capable as they busy across the barge, their hooped earrings clinking in their long, dark hair, as they chatter amiably, speaking Reichsfield with a heavy nasal twang. The stern is a large cabin, its interior concealed behind a number of hanging drapes. To the prow sits an elderly woman, swathed in a black woolen shawl, rocks herself to and fro upon a three-legged stool, and mutters to herself.
Right. So do we know how long a journey it will be to get to Grousey?
Not yet.
Are we going upriver or downriver?
We're coming from Knoll, so you're actually heading north upriver.
I thought we'd get an opportunity to speak to this Rutger before we boarded the boat to get an idea of what exactly he wanted us to do.
To be fair, he's on the boat. So you'll get a chance to have a chat with him now.
Yeah, let's go talk to him.
I mean, knowing what his name is, do any of you have Lord Ubersreich?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do.
No, I've got
I actually
Reichland.
don't.
Oh, sorry, yeah, mine's Law Reichland, not Ubersreich specifically.
Oh, sorry, yeah, no.
Okay, that's fine. So those with law, either Reichland or the Empire, if you wish, you can make a test.
Okay.
So straight off. Oh,
No.
wow.
So no.
That's not a trend, Jake.
There we go.
There we go. Thomas. Oh, I definitely didn't.
Okay, to be fair, it's the river guy who's spotted something, so that's a good start since it's on a boat and all.
Does make sense.
I think that's a pass.
Oh, that's a good skill.
Again, all law skills are based on intelligence, which is my best stat.
So wizard is he's good at.
Yeah. You might have only had 10 points in the skill, but because your intelligence is so high.
Yeah.
Oh, it's better than that. I don't think I've got any points in the skill.
Oh, it's just
wow.
base intelligence.
No, that's a lie. I have a whole 3 advances in law right then.
Yeah, I've got 3 advances in Law Reichland, and that was nowhere near what I needed. I needed a
Those that
32.
have passed, what are your success levels, those that have passed?
3.
Is it just
It was a
you?
good pass.
Oh, sorry, how many did you pass by, Jenny?
1.
Just the one. Okay. Those of you who've never been there, to be fair, some of this will be old hat to the wizard, given that the wizard lived in Uber's until fairly recently. But for those of you that don't actually know so much, nearby city of Uber's is in a period of crisis. Noble House Jungfrud, which used to exercise a withering degree of control over the region, has recently undergone a fall from grace. Currently the city is under governance by the forces of the Emperor himself. The reason for this state of affairs is uncertain and a matter of much discussion by all classes. Jungfruds never welcomed the increasing power of merchants, and some rumours suggest this contributed to their current woes. So that's just a bit of general information. You're travelling on the river, of course, your world view is starting to get a little bit bigger. Anybody got lore history?
No.
No.
Sadly not. Jarvis doesn't have lore anything.
No,
Doesn't have lore anything.
Lore local, but
No lore
No,
skills.
I've got heraldry, magic, Reichland,
That's a fair few.
and
What do we
medicine.
get?
Say again?
And medicine, but no history.
Medicine, but no history.
Would I get
So-
anything for Riverways by any chance?
Not in this case, no.
Ah,
It's
fair enough.
specific to the river. But that's fine. What you do know is that Ruta is one of 3 notable individuals involved in the planned construction of a new textile mill. And that's where you come in, because it needs to be built, and for some reason he's been told you are reliable.
But what
Where do
for?
you
We're
get-
not builders, though.
There's builders. That's
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
where did we get the idea we'd be like a good construction crew?
Well, he's been talking to a certain powerful wizard in Long.
Oh god.
been talking to
I'm
anyone who
just
saw
gonna
us trying to
say-
open the door then.
Should we trust anyone who thinks that Buggeroff is actually a
Yeah.
powerful wizard? Who isn't a wizard themselves? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, that's it,
me,
yeah.
me and Holly know that he actually is magical, but
Yeah, others might not.
yeah,
It's like,
others have to
well,
I
take
suppose
him
it's,
for face value.
it's like Radagast, isn't it? You like, for anyone else just looking at him and
poor
going,
old
this guy's a nutter, and someone wipe off that bird crap on his face. But Gandalf knows he's one of the most powerful wizards in Middle Earth. But I suppose that's it.
I
isn't
will, and I will quote / paraphrase Gandalf here. Radagast is a very fine wizard. So there.
Yeah.
I don't think he actually said so there, but I've certainly heard that.
it? Yeah.
So, you're literally just looking around on the boat, and rather to your surprise, the anchor's drawn up and the boat starts to move. And suddenly, a young man throws back the curtains concealing his cabin and introduces himself with a flourish. Hello, good day to you. I'm Rutger Ruta. Call me Ruta. Sorry, Rutger, not my surname. You understand. Delighted to have you aboard. At our campsite, we have much work to do, but there are certain things I would rather well-muscled and disciplined folk, such as yourselves, oversee. I'm not expecting any trouble, but if you could keep your eyes open and help muck in should anything come up, then I'll make sure you're well rewarded for any work you do. Now, please, if you wouldn't mind, tell me a bit about yourselves.
So he wants us to. So he wants us to work security, essentially.
Yeah, we're probably bodyguards
Multiple
or
ways.
something.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Jarvis, doing his servantly bit, introduces his lord first. This is Lord Geralt Blumenthal of Grunberg, army officer. Are you an officer, Jake? I always forget the actual.
Yeah,
he's got a
so
rank. He must be an officer because he's a noble.
yeah, so I am
Not
an
not rose through the ranks.
Yeah, I am an officer, but I am part of the Secret Service for the Empire, but he's not allowed to know that.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't go blabbing that towards
So
them.
you're like, so you get given a naval rank like MI6.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Commander Blumenthal.
Yeah,
Empire Secret
midshipman.
Service.
Yeah.
Yeah, officer.
You're awfully well dressed for a midshipman.
Yeah. Offset.
So Jarvis introduces Geralt, and I am his manservant. My name is Jarvis Drake.
An actual lord? That I did not expect. And he bows. Awkwardly, as the ship's starting to rock a little bit, and he's a bit unsteady on his feet.
That's fine.
And then he turns. Mariah, he turns to you. He offers you his hand.
Oh, okay.
Charmer.
I'm going to know what.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sort of look at him disdainfully and his hand for a second, grip it very tight.
Okay, his eyebrows rise dramatically, like up past the level of his friend, and he sort of goes, pleased to meet you.
That was all for that, wasn't it, Holly? It was all so that Steve would do that voice.
Pretty much, yeah.
I honestly thought Steve would make it roll on strength for that.
No, I'm looking at this guy's stat line, Jake.
He's not going to pass any opposed strength test, is he?
Not unless you guys roll 99 a lot.
Okay.
And he says, and what's your role in this motley crew?
I'm on a personal mission. Really, I hit.
Yes. He says as he takes his hand back and quickly hides it behind his back, while trying not to wince in pain and look at his blue fingers where the blood's fled them. He then sticks his hand out to you, Ferdinand, and this time it's his left hand.
Oh, I was actually going to ask if I could have a light orb in my hand to sort of distract him and give him a clue at what my job might be.
You got to cast it.
Yeah, no.
He's summoned a demon on a boat. That would be hilarious.
Well, I don't need to charge for light because it's literally. I literally just need to pass.
Yeah.
So
It's a petty spell, isn't it?
It's a petty spell. It looks impressive.
Well, remember, as an amethyst mage, or light is purple.
Yes,
Much like black light, in fact. Oh, it could show up some interesting things on the deck.
I'm gonna. It's language magic I rolled against. Yes. Okay.
It is.
Yes, I know. I need to double check that every time. Right.
Just a warning, everyone. I have been drinking quite a bit of Baileys already tonight since I got home on what is arguably an empty stomach. So,
So for that spell that I only needed to pass,
yeah.
I got 6 success levels.
Do you want me to look at what casting is on that particular spell?
Well, it extends either range or length.
Basically,
At like 3 blinded conditions or something.
Everybody on the boat is now blinded because you've summoned an orb of light the size of, I don't know, a small sun.
Well, actually, what I was going
she's
to ask
accidentally summoned a new sun.
is, could I do, rather than one orb of light, do like a couple of orbs of light and like do the rolling glass ball David Bowie trick with them?
Oh my god! Well, only if you have a bulging pouch. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, I wear robes, so if I do, you can't see it.
And I'm having a swig of my Baileys in disappointment.
That's disturbing.
Can't do
it. Oh, there we go. Thank you for
Yeah,
Nice.
that's what I want to do.
Let me show you my magic ball. Lovely.
Only glowing.
Yeah, but glowing in purple light. Yeah.
Yeah.
An almost, sinister-looking amethyst glow, reminiscent of, oddly enough, death magic.
So that's going on in my left hand, and I'm holding the size in the right hand. So I've really got no hands to shake with this guy.
He quickly points at them with his left hand. Ah, yes. And then looks at his own hand as if he doesn't know what he's doing. Puts it behind his robes and obviously meets his right hand. He says, I take it you're a conjurer?
I'm just going to do my best Christopher Judge glower at him.
Okay.
I know I'm in no way scary, okay? Because we know.
You look scary
But given he's already
already
a bit scared because of the magic.
Okay, good to meet you, sir. And he turns to you, Fritz.
Yes, hello.
Howdy.
I won't.
Pray tell, sir, what is your speciality?
I'm a huffer. I know these waterways very well, and I cannot help notice that we set off without checking who was aboard.
The crew were under orders to set off as soon as you were aboard.
Do they know no one else followed us on board?
Is that likely? Are you being followed?
Possibly. Who can say?
Oh, that's clever. That's good. Like that. Yes. Always keeping an eye out. Oh, yes. There's definitely a place for you ongoing in this venture. Absolutely. Oh, yes. We could make lots of money together with someone like you on board.
We could. And
Yes.
Can
I won't shake your hand because I've got an awful case of pox at the moment.
Yeah, you want
Yes, have you managed to hold off scratching whilst this conversation is going
Good
on?
point. Should I be testing?
Come on, give me an endurance check. I've actually forgotten about that.
Failed.
no.
So at the mention of it, you immediately go to a fairly blatant good match. And he goes, oh! And quickly turns away. And it's his right hand out again now. The blood's returned to his fingers and it's not tingling anymore. Out to you, Reinhardt. And he says, oh, good day to you too, sir.
Good day. I'll take his hand and a normal handshake.
He sighs. He's like, oh, God. Thanks. This is your. What skill sets do you bring to this venture?
I'm an investigator.
Oh, what do you investigate?
Whatever needs investigating.
Oh, flexible fellow. Yes, yes. Yes, I can see a future for you with the business. Absolutely, yes. Oh, this is wonderful, wonderful. Anybody else, or is that all of you?
Well, we have got Deadeye and Reinhardt.
Yeah, we'll just do. Yeah, well, we've done just Reinhardt, but we'll ignore Deadeye for now.
Yeah.
We could assume he's probably having to hang himself over one of the sides of the boat at the moment. Based on, I don't think he's properly recovered still, has he?
Oh, which part of his anatomy is he hanging over the side?
Yeah, back in
Yeah,
first.
that's true.
Probably.
So you all obviously, as Rutger's been introducing himself around, you've obviously got a good look at him, and you do notice he's a little unsteady on the deck. He's obviously not used to he hasn't got his sea legs, as it were. He's not used to a moving boat. But his greeting was certainly genuine enough, and his smile is nice and wide. His blonde hair hangs in a shaggy page boy cut. He has friendly-looking hazel eyes. He's slender, some would call him handsome, and wears practical but well-tailored clothing. He's keen to know all that he can of you, hence the questions. And yeah, everything seems all right so far. I do have a picture of him, which I will send to you. I'm sure you're all dying to know exactly what he looks like. Nice to go.
Is he one of those?
So we didn't
Playboy
manage
ones?
to successfully put him off
Yeah.
handshakes for the rest of his life.
Well, only with certain types, I guess.
Oh dear.
He looks
Sure he's
so
not,
pompous.
dear!
There's Petronian. Looks like a French guy.
I was going to say, I'm thinking Bob from Blackadder type.
Yeah,
situation here. This is
Bob.
Bob.
becoming very fond of you, Rutger.
Oh, dear.
I'm actually most disappointed. I'm having to scroll down the gift thing to find Bob.
Oh,
Not
no.
the correct Bob.
I bet Bob the Builder's the first one.
Yep. And I've got far enough that I've devolved into mainly SpongeBob. Oh,
Oh.
although there is Silent Bob. So, you know.
Giant and Silent Bob. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. No, I'm reduced to actually searching Blackadder.
Can I have a
Right,
quick
right.
question, sorry, before we crack on, Steve?
Yeah, go on.
When you level up to your next level, do you automatically get the skills that come with it, but with 0
Oh,
points
no.
on?
Oh, no.
Thank
Right,
you.
okay.
No, you have to
It's
buy those.
uncanny.
Just missing the rough. That's literally it.
Isn't that Sir Percy?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the perfect Percy. That's actually his name.
and- oh, yeah. I'm assuming you want to know also what the boat looks like, so I can give you a rough approximation of the boat.
Yeah.
It's not 100% exact.
I'm guessing it looks like a boat. Boat shape.
Yeah.
a bit like a boat.
Looks like a boat,
but,
smells like a boat.
There you go. It's a boat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a terrible boat.
Barge-esque, that's right.
It's supposed to be a barge full of building supplies.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned by that tentacle.
Oh, that's just artistic license. That's just artistic license.
Not after last time when Jarvis almost got eaten.
Yeah. I really want to. Yeah.
If
If that's not foreshadowing, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not an
Yes.
8-pointed,
I'm on a boat.
it's not an
Yes,
8-pointed
something-
star there on the on that bit on the front, is it?
The Chaos Boat.
Does look a little bit chaotic, it must be said.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the eight-pointed star isn't just chaos. Remember, it represents the fact that the winds of magic are
Blimey, is that
Yeah.
Rutger's stats? I can see it just above the boat line. When I said he's a charmer, I didn't realise he was that good at charming. Bloody hell, 82.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he's very good. Yeah.
And I'm not
He's
going to bother trying to haggle with him either.
But to be fair, if you arm wrestle him, you get almost guaranteed to win.
Well, I don't know. Well, yeah, strength. Yeah, strength is not very good.
And he sort of says, "So, the questions then. I guess we'll crack on, shall we?"
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
The quicker we get there and get on with it, the quicker we get paid.
Well, we don't know how much we're getting paid yet.
Oh yeah, good
True,
point.
yeah.
But we can't. But having just seen what I've seen, I know we're getting paid what he told us we get paid because no one's winning a haggle test.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And we're on
But
a
it would
boat,
still
so
be
we
nice
can't
just
get
to
off.
know what we're aiming for.
True.
Yeah, I can do it quite subtly. I can take it to one side and sort of like out of the, ask how much are we paid for our services and how long he needs our services for.
Oh, all of that's a little bit ambiguous at the moment. Of course, the fine details will need to be discussed a little bit later on. There will be money, of course. Where we're going, the campsite. There's the treasurer. Treasurer's there. So yes, you should be reimbursed. I'm afraid an exact fee will need to be discussed after I've gone through some paperwork. I have a lot of paperwork to do, things to file, writs and such. I'll see you in an hour or so. He retreats back into his cabin, got the curtains and pulled across. The conversation with Rutger is over.
Yeah, I want to give Fritz a nudge and say, hey, why don't you try and learn how to pilot a boat with these guys?
Wow, that's subtle. Very subtle.
Yeah.
I slap Geralt firmly on the arm with the hand I was just using to
Oh,
scratch
you
myself.
bastard.
Thank you for saying
Oh, Are you responding verbally as well, or are you just actions speak louder than words in this case?
I think actions will do the job in that one.
Fair enough. Interesting. Geralt raises an interesting point. Because obviously you are technically a river-based career person. Do you wish to show any interest in the boat or its current operation?
I was thinking I would go and find out who the pilot is for this. On this one and figure out what exactly they're. Well, yeah, what they're doing and where they're going. I know we've been told, but yeah.
Yep. So a quick look around will allow you a Law Riverways test if you have it.
Yeah, excellent.
I'm hoping if anyone's got it, it's you.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Is that what I think it is?
It is indeed.
My God,
He knows everything.
Wow.
you're like some kind of.
See, just because I can't
River
operate a pair of
savant.
oars doesn't mean I don't know my way around
Yeah,
the
just
river.
because you can't. Yeah.
Dual roll
Just 'cause
of
you
a
can't
No,
wand.
everything about oars, just not how to use them.
Yeah, I can craft them if I needed to. I just can't.
So apparently, by looking at the river waters, you can tell exactly which mountains they've been filtered through before they join the river. The actual particles of H2O are laid bare before your gaze. That's bad. So you get the distinct impression that the sailing of this boat is a shoddy operation. The boat has been loaded in such a way as to cause unnecessary degrees of instability, so that's good, but the cargo itself is not well secured. You do, however, if you wish to make another Law Riverways check, potentially have an idea of how that can be rectified.
Yeah, why not?
Oh.
Nah.
One extreme to the
I
other.
was so deep in thought on the actual flow of the river that I've completely forgotten anything about actually maintaining a boat.
From 1 to a 95, that's you're
I
proper going
think-
the extremes here, aren't you?
You're so hypnotised, you've just walked off the edge of the boat.
Something like
Either
that.
that, or
Catch myself in the.
he's decided to rectify the cargo not being secured, approving it, and throwing each piece of cargo overboard.
This doesn't work, bro.
But look, this isn't secured at all. Look, get up, lob it.
Yeah. Look, this isn't even a good knot here. Look, I can tie this very easily.
Look, this
This
snail's
rope
trying
is
to hold the ship.
partly worn through. Look, if I touch it with my dagger, snap. Did you wish to accept that role, or would you rather either spend one of your fortune points or do something else?
Actually, I could spend a fortune point because I've got an extra one at the moment. So let's try again. Nah, still no good. I think I needed a 39.
Okay. You wish to beseech the dark gods for further assistance?
Yeah, why not?
Lovely. Give yourself a corruption point and have a reroll.
There you go.
Hey.
Perfect. Worth
Has
it.
that actually passed?
It has. The Dark Elves seem to like me. I think pretty much every one of those rolls I've had, I've succeeded at.
It's been all right, yeah.
Yeah.
So you call a few of the Strigony crewmen over, and we'll have a quick word with them and point out a few bits of the thing. And they sort of look at it a little bit wary to begin with, and then realise that you're absolutely right. And a couple of them band together and they get some more ropes and they start securing the cargo down much better, based on your instructions and direction.
Excellent.
Well done, you. So, taking notice of your usefulness, a man comes striding along the deck. He introduces himself as Ryko. That's it. No first name, no surname, just Ryko.
Who's he introduced himself to? Tom?
Yes,
Or Fritz? should I
he's
say.
shown some interest. And Tom's been useful too. And he thanks you in his heavily accented Strigony accent voice. You want me to try that one, or shall we just ignore it completely?
What's Strigony in the real world?
Gypsy.
Oh, okay. We just talk about dags.
Yeah, and he's wanting to repaint the boat Periwinkle Blue. And he thanks you very much, actually, for your assistance. He says he would have noticed that himself, but he's been a little bit distracted the way things are at the moment. But he certainly says, any assistance you give, and he's very, very grateful. He'll see you're all right as things go on.
Nice.
And he sort of says, is there anything he can do for any of you while you're stuck on the boat for a while?
No, he's very welcome. What does he mean he was a bit distracted by how things are at the moment?
Well, he says, wife died last year, and I felt the pinch since then. Sorry, you wanted Pikey, you got Pikey. Ruta seems good folk, and me and my girls need a good break, so best not to think about my grandmother's talk of beasts in the marshes, eh? But we press on, build their mill or whatnot, and trust in our ancestors, and it'll all be okay.
So I take it then his grandmother is his grandmother the woman in the black shroud rocking on the end of the boat on the three-legged stool?
To be sure, he says, and points at her. That's my grandmother Vadoma.
What's her name, sorry?
Vadoma.
Oh, okay. I just don't know why, but I thought her name would be like Madame Pertelengo or something like that.
Septic peg. I'm going to send you another couple of portraits.
Cool.
The artists have done very well in this book. It's a shame not to use their portraits. And I can get my thumb to work properly.
So all of Riker's family are on this boat, I take it.
Wow, all of them.
Okay, his family are on the boat, and they
The
go.
first
to
picture
work.
loading up is Ryko. Into you now.
How? And the question
And the
is.
second picture is Vadoma, his mother.
He looks like a charming fella.
He's got a gypsy's nose.
And then his mum.
It does look like it's gone one way and then the other.
Yeah.
Blimey. His mother,
is-
like, ooh.
Remotely stereotypical.
Yeah, this is.
I didn't draw them. I didn't draw them. In my defence, I have nothing to do with that. So he says, no, things with me personally have been a bit rough since my wife passed away last year. As I say, I've felt the pinch since then. Things have been financially difficult, and life's just gotten a lot more difficult. It's horrible. As you can tell, and he sort of sadly points out the state of his boat, and he's like, I really would love to do my boat up, but I can't at the moment. And I'm hoping this is going to pay enough that I can get myself back on my feet again.
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that, and if he helps watch our back, I'm sure we shall do quite nicely out of this venture, and he'll have more than enough money to sort his boat out.
Oh, that's decent of you, he says. It's not a lot of you city dwellers would agree to come on a boat with my people and I. There's a lot of superstitions about us, folks.
Are there? We're not really from around these parts. What sort of superstitions do the locals believe in?
And he sort of lightly punches you on the shoulder, and it's like, no. Nice one, that's a good one. I'll tell the lads that. That's really funny.
Do you actually know as characters? Would we know? Would we know as characters? Because I know.
It'd be Empire wide.
Right.
But feel free to enlighten the group, Matt, for players that don't know.
Well, there's a group of vampires called the Strugogi vampires, and they're basically like the bestial guys. So there's a strong potential there's vampires involved here.
Hey.
We do like our vampires.
Not Trollian though.
No,
Not that bad off.
unfortunately not.
So where do we think the vampires are involved? What, on the riverways?
Well, no. There's
Moist
just
vampires.
closely linked to vampires, yeah.
So basically, the vampires would often use Strigony peoples as retainers and agents to work.
Oh yeah,
with them.
it's
Basically
like
like Bram Stoker's guys.
yeah, like Dracula's
Dracula's,
Yeah.
Dracula's henchman,
folks. Yeah.
That was continued on in
Renfield.
Warhammer.
Yeah.
Or Renfield.
Not so much, because obviously Renfield came from London, didn't he?
Yeah, but I'm
He's
thinking,
a servant.
yeah.
Ryko does point out his grandmother, and he says, "Look, she's a bit eccentric, so just maybe take a pinch of salt. Everything she says, just And he's struggling. He's struggling with the words. He doesn't, because his right glander's not that good.
I'll say no more, my friend. I've got a mother like that.
Well, I'm assuming she won't say anything unless you cross her palm with silver.
Oh wow!
Well, that's why she sat. That's why she sat at the end of the boat, isn't it? Oh yeah. You cross my palm with silver. Green silver, £2, love.
I mean, all I was thinking was Mumsy from Crystal Maze, but
As obviously Ryko has mentioned his grandmother, you all obviously sort of look where he's indicating and see the little old lady at the end of the boat. She's seated at the prow, which I believe in the boat is the front. I mean, I don't spend a lot of time on boats, I have to be honest, guys. And she's clearly talking to herself, not paying any attention whatsoever. So there's obviously no reason to go over and talk to her, is there? No good. Right.
Sounds like we need to go over.
Holly, perception check.
What? Actually, Holly rather than anyone else. Just
Yeah.
no characters rolling, just Holly. Yeah.
Go on then.
Oh,
So she's talking to a little girl, you say?
Oh, she's talking to herself.
hey.
Oh, okay. I thought she was talking to somebody else.
Okay. I think that's my bad roll that points in.
Okay, so that's a very good roll there, Ferdinand. What are you doing with that roll? What was it?
I just want to. I actually want to just generally do a magic overlook because it seems just a pertinent thing for a wizard to be doing, but also specifically around her. Hence me asking Holly about it.
Okay, so there is a swirl of magic around Old Lady, and it's got a decidedly purple hue.
Interesting.
Oh, she does seances.
She's cleaner.
Yeah.
Or she's not speaking to herself.
She's talking to spirits.
I'll leave this one up to the Death Wizard.
This is outside of a soldier's purview. It's not alive, therefore I can't kill it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with the Death Wizard with no people skills. But okay.
Yeah. Whilst everyone's deciding, I'll want to walk to the back of the boat and just keep an eye out from back there, but rest one of my crossbows up against the wood.
Okay, is it loaded?
Yes, both my weapons are loaded.
Just checking.
Just to be, on the safe side.
Okay. You both managed to lean on the rail at the stern. I believe it's the stern anyway, at the back of the boat. And hey, look at me! I'm all nautical and naughty maybe. And you see Nuln begin to recede a little bit because the boat's actually making good headway. So you're no longer in Nuln, I'm afraid, everyone.
That's fine.
Which means there's a growing distance between you and a certain beggarous wizard.
Yeah. One thing that I forgot to ask last round is where we're heading. Is any of the places that we need to visit on the map close by?
That's a good question, to be fair. Let me have a look for you.
Fix it up if we get a chance.
So you're gonna head up north, take across, heading towards Dunkelberg, and then take the river all the way up. Heading towards, funnily enough, Ubersreich, but you don't go that far.
Okay. In fact, I've got a map that I can look at. I'm hoping it's accurate map. Strike. Can't see it on this map. It must be somewhere else.
The river that you're actually on, because you need to zoom in a long way to see this river, because it's it becomes anyway a very tiny river. It's called the Verfulflues, and well, it is.
I know, sorry, but it was just funny.
And that then flows into the Grousey, which is a lake, and the village of Grousey is obviously on the bank of the lake. And the Verfulflues then continues on as if like the water sort of pools in a lowland area, which forms the lake, and then it comes out the other end, heading continuously north or south, depending which direction obviously you're going in. Coming from Knoll, north-south, so you're heading north up this river. You've obviously ascertained what you have by looking at the mystic old woman type. So, do you wish to cross her palm with any silver?
I don't have any silver to cross her palm with, but I would like to walk over and give a very respectful greeting.
Okay. But you get nearly to where the old woman is when one of the other striggly sailors sort of puts his arm out and puts his hand on your shoulder and stops you. And he says, you should just leave Mother Vadoma be.
What?
You should just leave Mother Vadoma be.
The echo's quite bad, and when you do that accent, it really.
Okay. Oh, this
Doing
is
your own
my
do it.
accents, man. This isn't fair. It's going to ruin all of my excellently performed accents. I can definitely blame this for any criticism on accents going forward.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Cool.
So he says you should leave Mother Vadoma be.
Okay. Leave her alone, essentially.
In a Dracula-esque accent, because
You know, Romanian.
Well, I didn't want to say that really, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have gone for stereotypical Transylvanian. But
What?
yeah,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Count Dracula, and I'm here to suck your blood.
a little
Blah
bit.
blah blah.
Can we not Adam Sandler this up?
Yeah.
One barge up the river.
Yeah, no, count one count better. Okay.
Whenever I see that now, all I can hear of is that. Is it the Family Guy where Stewie says, "Brian, is the Count a real vampire?" And there's that whole sketch where it's like, "Are you asking me if the Count from Sesame Street sucked people's blood for sustenance?" Yeah. Like, no, I don't think you're a vampire. And then you can like imagine this like puppet like attacking people.
with felt teeth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh god, you're gonna make me do this. Hang on.
I'm on hanging.
Sorry. There was the episode of Angel called Smile Time.
Is that one of the musical ones?
No, but it's almost that ridiculous. There we go.
Angels did get better.
Surely you shouldn't quote anything by
yeah.
these days. What?
He got turned into a puppet.
Interesting.
How have I not seen that one?
Yes, I don't recall that one either.
It's series 5.
Oh, went on for 5 seasons? Okay, I clearly stopped watching it before that then.
But, well, yeah, because it was when Spike was in it. There's a really hysterical fight scene between Spike and Puppet Angel, and I do not know how James Marsden survived the fight scene without just dying of laughter.
He probably did, knowing him. He probably laughed his arse off several times.
Oh, no, I mean, bearing in mind that the character is also laughing, but it is just like he's rolling around on the floor with a puppet up in his face. It's Watch it. It's funny, but
Should go and raid the DVD collection because I think Janine had season 5. I'll go and have a look.
sorry, you were talking about and there is a thing where he does full vamp face whilst he's the puppet.
Oh, good God.
You were talking about felt teeth. I'm sorry.
I'm
I'm not-
taking you sing Happy Time Murders then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched that. Is that any good?
Those that haven't, I
enjoyed it.
fucking loved it. It was fucking brilliant.
I'll just have to have give it a look. I'm pretty sure I saw it on one of the streaming services.
It definitely. I think it was on both Amazon and Netflix at the same time at one point.
For those that grew up watching things like Muppets and Sesame Street, but have a sixth sense of humour as adults, it's definitely the thing you need to watch.
Yeah.
Bit like what's the
Avenue
mongrels?
Q.
Oh, Avenue Q's meant to. I still haven't seen Avenue Q, but
Avenue Q's amazing.
yeah,
Avenue Q's amazing.
I don't know what that is. I'll have to watch that then.
It's a
it's a
musical.
musical.
Yeah.
But I felt particularly victimised by the first song being called "What Do You Do with a BA in English."
Yeah. 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 Yeah, there's a few looking around the audience, a few awkward, like, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
sidebar. But I kind of.
so we're being
I
told
wanna
not to go
ask
near her,
why-
so we're going to
I-
go near her.
Again, respectfully, I'm basically going to ask if she speaks with the dead.
The Strigony guy notices that you're still trying to push forward, and he's like, "No, no,
I'm not pushing
just
forward.
let her
I'm
pray, will you? And hope that in your dotage people leave you to your comfort too, huh?"
I still didn't understand a word of that, Steve.
God, really?
Yeah, well,
It's
I
alright,
got
I'll
as far
translate.
as leave her to pray, and then
And
after
hope
that I was
that-
like, what?
But people, when you're in your dotage, people leave you. I can apparently I can speak whatever this Roma
You speak
dialect
Echo.
is. Actually, what I might have done. So apologies, Holly, but I've turned Holly's volume down slightly, and that's got rid of the echo at my end, so I can hear Steve perfectly clearly. I'll just
Yeah,
have to
that's
listen
what
a
I
bit.
ended up doing.
Just have to listen a bit more carefully when Holly starts talking, but it gets rid of the echo.
I did
You want me
not
to
know you could
repeat
do
it?
that to
Or
individuals.
yeah, you can. You can adjust everybody's levels.
Yeah.
You want me to repeat it, or are you happy just taking Tom's word for it?
I'll take Tom's word for it.
Yeah, so just a bit.
What did I say, Tom?
I hope that when you are in your dotage, that people leave you to your, what was it, like simple pleasures or whatever. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave it.
She's clearly got some awesome information, and Steve doesn't want us to have it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
While this guy's distracted, can someone else just walk behind and just have a chat with it?
Yeah, I'll just
Preferably
wander
someone
past.
with more social skills than me.
Is she in a wheelchair? Can I try and hook her?
Oh, she's rocking back and forth on a
Can
three-legged
I
stool.
try and...
Oh, okay.
My God, what have we...
The chair. They're not physically.
No, I know, but even so, like...
I mean, you can try. You do realise how awfully badly this could go if you don't roll very well, right?
Yeah, when I accidentally pull her off the deck.
Well, yeah, or yank her off the stool. She jumps up into surprise and topples over the prow of the boat.
She's also not particularly well secured.
Absolutely, yeah. She's literally rocking back and forth on a three-legged stool.
No, I'm not going to interfere with a rocking stool. I just, yeah. Well, if she's sort of semi-mobile anyway, I'll just try and, yeah, bring her over to have a chat.
Semi-mobile anyway.
Shouldn't be funny, I'm sorry.
I'm laughing too. They're clearly cruel individuals. All
Yeah.
this.
When you said that, I thought, oh, is he going to make her completely immobile this time?
Yeah, she's mobile for now until the accident, and then, yeah.
I'm going to have to write a new career now for the rulebook, aren't I?
Yeah.
Injury lawyer for you.
You'd make a fucking.
Are you involved in a boat-related accident?
Yeah.
It's not your fault because a couple with a hook attacked you.
Yeah.
Did the party
Object to the use of the word
get on your
attack,
boat?
but everything else fine.
But you're actually so Ferdinand, you're actually going to leave her alone, are you?
I'm
Gonna
more worried
respect
that the
the wishes-
guy's gonna attack me than.
Is he?
Ah,
Oh, I've just thought, of course, no. God, it's so obvious now when you think about it. He's the
Yes?
guy you've got to pay. He's like the guy stood at the edge of the tent door
Oh,
who you've got
Yeah.
to pay to go and see Madame Gypsy Pertolengo. You
Okay.
know?
I still don't have
Voma.
any money though. So
yeah, I think we're
Still
all
can't do
skint,
anything
aren't
with
we?
I have money. but
some of us are more skint than others.
I mean, we might be
How
we might
much
be
should
about
we-
to like horribly offend him, but
about,
I mean-
are we supposed to be crossing the guy with silver then?
we could say that, you know, what if we want to make a donation to the, you know, Strigoni People's Liberation Fund, or I don't know what. It's the People's Front of Judea.
Yeah, this is the People's Liberation Front of Strigony.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
A quote, obviously. Oh dear. The weather, unfortunately, takes a bit of a turn for the worse.
So
Not
we're all
whether
in
it's
below
well,
decks.
It starts to rain a little bit, and some of the crew start pulling the tarpaulins over some of the supplies, and it's obviously some form of waxed or greased thick cloth, some form of weather-resistant sailcloth kind of thing, and they start tying that over some of the supplies. And they manage to extend it to the sides of the boat, so it kind of creates a little bit of a roof over the middle section of the boat. It's not absolutely hammering it down, but obviously it's not good to get building supplies soaking wet, so they're trying to protect them. If you wish, those of you with a sensitive disposition can hide under it.
I'll go and help the rest of them tether the stuff down.
No.
Oh, making yourself further useful.
I'm gonna carry on standing where I'm at, keeping an eye out.
Getting wet.
Yeah, it's just
Is there-
water. Plus, it's washing
Is there
off.
any-
That is true.
It's washing off the
There's no-
itchy stuff that Fritz gave me.
Oh yeah. I take it there's nothing nearby that I can use to shelter Geralt.
Well, no, I mean, as far as I'm aware, technically umbrellas haven't been invented. I mean, unless you want to put your hands, you know, like over his head, or your own cloak, you know, that kind of thing. Oh, I see. Well, so not lordly enough, is he?
Well, no, because he's not one of those type of lords, is he?
No,
He's
I'm
a
not
capable-
pussy.
No, he's a capable,
Army dude.
you know,
Bold
individual.
soldier.
Yeah.
Well, unless any of you wish to do anything specific, a few hours pass by as the boat continues to go up the river, and the weather doesn't really improve much. The day starts to move on a bit. Okay, so no suggestions that you want to do anything, so that's all good. So at one point, the boat turns a bend in the river, and suddenly the Doma bursts into life, still perched on her stool, three-legged stool, lets loose a delighted shriek, her eyes open wide, dart wildly about, though they appear blind to what you assume is cataracts, and whoops, the gold teeth flashing in the sunlight, what little of it there is, and claws at the air with her withered hands. As she settles back down again, finally speaks. You can't help yourselves but crowd in a little closer to hear her. And you realise you're not alone. Most of the Strigony crew are doing the same thing. And her voice, like paper, is, "Oh, praise the generations to the ancestors, for they have delivered us from this twisted bend of river and the beast of the Orchlam. All praise, and yet no less diligent, for we stray towards other greater perils."
Right, everyone on guard.
No one's guarding the front of this, are they?
Well, no, because we weren't supposed to go near Madam What's It.
Ah, yes.
Most of the crew sort of look at her, look at each other, and kind of shrug a little bit, and then just return to their work. And as the rain starts to ease off a little bit, they actually start to take down some of the cloths, or the sailcloths that they've put over the barge, and sort of tip them at angles so the water runs off the edge of the boat, and they start to make it a little bit nicer. So any of you that were hiding under those are now exposed to the weather, but the rain's easing off dramatically. It's not so bad at all. And Raiko sort of comes over, and he says, "Oh, apologies, my grandmother. She can be a little strange, you know. We have seen her like this many times, and many times before. Mother Vadoma, she has so many visions, and so few of them actually matter to us that we stopped paying her any real attention many months ago."
Would it be okay for us to have for a member of our party to have a chat with your mothers? But we've got a member of our group also is in tune with visions and these sorts of things. It might bring us some comfort.
Oh, yes, just make sure she doesn't get up and move around too much. She might trip over and hurt herself, yes?
Nice.
No problem, we'll leave her where she is.
And don't distress the old lady. I mean, she's a little strange, but you know we all love her lots. My people, we venerate our ancestors much. Yes.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
He goes back to work. Who is going to approach the old lady?
Should I?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I mean,
It's qualified.
True. Okay, so again, with the polite and respectful approaching.
What do you say to her then?
Kind of don't know what an appropriate title to give her is.
You there, crone?
Respectful.
I was thinking like, I don't know, madam.
You there,
or...
youngish crone.
Madam works.
Yeah, madam. I think probably.
What time of day is it as well? Steve, sorry.
It's now roughly mid-afternoon.
In which case,
So
good afternoon, madam.
Yeah, that works.
She looks up, and you notice that yes, her eyes are quite significantly milky. Not as in like proper blind, but you get the impression that her vision is
I'm a big
dramatically
purple
reduced.
blob. That's good.
Yeah, kind of. She obviously realises you're a person, which is a good start, and she says, "Yes, come join me in thanking the beneficent ancestors for letting us avoid the beast."
What beast would that be? I'm genuinely interested. Sorry.
Oh, the beast of the Orchlam. I came through here as a young girl. Everybody knew about the beast then.
People forget easily.
Ah, yes, but the spirits, the ancestors, they do not forget.
No, they don't. You're worried about something coming up as well, though.
The marshes. Those marshes cursed and haunted by the terrible beast.
And this beast?
It is all the same beast, the beast of the Orchlam. Terrorized this area. When I was a little girl. Everybody spoke of it.
The beast of the. How do you. Orchland, what did she say?
Ortschlam. Ortschlam.
Who were you speaking to before?
My
The
ancestors. The spirits of my people. I communicate frequently with the shades.
And they speak back to you because you
Oh,
do have the
yes,
sight.
they warn me. They try to help me. They share the blood.
No, I could see that you were speaking to the ancestors.
You have the sight too?
I dabble.
Oh, young one, you must be careful. Babbling will get you in trouble.
Helps
I'll vouch
me.
for that.
Does get you paid though.
It does, unfortunately.
It's better than the odd piece of silver as well.
I'd rather speak to friendly ancestors like the ones you're speaking to than the less friendly spirits of the world.
My grandson, I think you have met him, Raiko. He's good boy. He's good boy. But he's modern boy. No good, no good. He'd not believe when he should.
Sometimes people only believe what they see.
Ah, yes, this modern problem.
If he hangs
Your
around with us
city
long
folk.
enough, he'll soon see something. I'm sure.
Wow.
You city folk, you suffer this much. You only believe what you see. There are other things, other worlds, things you don't see. And you don't see them, but sometimes they see you.
This is true.
I listen to the spirits. They tell me the end is coming and I must make ready, but I'm not ready. Raiko, he go to danger. I help him before I go myself.
There's only so
I
much we
travel-
can do to teach people, though. Sometimes they have to learn for themselves.
Well, yes, but he not believe. He be surprised, and it's not. He good boy. He not deserve it.
Well, we'll do our best to help him.
That is good. I travel with him, and I talk him. How he would say, chew his ear off. So he bring me with him. He was blindly walking into terrible danger.
What else can you tell me about this beast?
No, it's an ancient beast from before time, almost not in time. The beast is deathless.
How many three?
I mean, how many legs are we talking about?
It I don't know. I've not seen the beast. My ancestors cannot show me the beast. They just tell me of danger, tell me of beast, and they remind me of the stories when I was a little girl. We're all in danger. You understand?
I understand.
You prepare for danger.
Pardon?
Prepare for danger.
Always.
I've got a big, sharp, pointy stick. Very prepared for danger.
She laughs. Pointy stick, yes, good. Beast big, need big pointy stick.
Is there anything she can recommend to deal with the beast?
Yeah. The ancestors give any particular methods of combating it?
Yes, the ancestors say, turn around and go back. Do not come this way. But Raiko, he need the money. You want to fix up his boat. You want to make his family happy. We worked very hard. He had bad luck. Don't worry. Raiko, good boy. Raiko not deserve to die. Mouth of beast.
So, we're going to be fighting a big beastie at some point, guys.
Yeah.
She give us any more description of it? Like, what it, so that we might actually be able to identify what it actually is.
It's just a big beast. It eat people. It eat everything. It poisoned the whole area.
Is it? But I mean, like, is it like a, 4 legs? Is it furry? Is it
Tentacles.
Yeah, exactly.
Green and slimy with strange-looking
Yeah.
3 dotted markings on it.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
That's very specific there, Chris. Very specific.
Bearing in mind that we are already on the out with one of the Chaos Gods, which is clearly not the one in charge of dice rolls.
Well, he's helping me, apparently.
I cannot give you a description of beast other than terrible. Just terrible beast. Deathless
once.
beast from ancient times.
I'd like to meet one that they referred to as something other than terrible.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know,
It's a lovely
perfectly
beast.
friendly. Yes, lovely beast.
Yeah. Oh, it's
It's
The
just the best.
ancestors tell me there be some beasts they're cute and they're cuddly. This not that beast.
Yeah.
Some beasts, they like to dance in ballrooms with ladies in yellow
I'm
dresses.
gonna say, yeah.
This beast was never a man. This beast always beast.
Okay. And does she know? So she fears it might attack the boat. Is that true?
It move around a bit. It could come from anywhere, but not the sky. It's not a flying beast.
So all we have to do is to discover flight, and we're safe.
Yeah.
That's how.
Pick
that's
somebody
how we
borrow
beat-
a gyrocopter.
Is it a swimming beast?
It walk, it swim, it's very underground.
Amphibious then. Right.
I mean, it's the underground part that worries me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's a terrible beast. Terrible. Oh, I am upset thinking of beast. She starts to cry a little bit.
Oh, quick.
Well- We are experienced at dealing with beasts.
Your beast hunters? Oh, trademarks being suggested here. Your kill beast before?
Yes.
yes, many.
Oh, you tell me. I feel better. How many beasts?
Count them by the tentacle.
Yeah.
One beast that was not of this this mortal plane.
And one
Yeah.
beast that used to be, but was no longer.
You fight beast of the nether realm?
Indeed.
Oh, that's good. You good warriors. You powerful protectors. You look after my Raiko.
If he sticks with us, he'll be fine.
We'll certainly try. I
And with
don't
that,
like making
he's
promises.
dead.
Literally just signed his death warrant. Well done.
He'll be
Yeah.
fine.
So far,
You
we're
hear a
operating
splash
on
in the background. Like, oh,
I don't
shit.
think anyone's died that we haven't intended to die.
Rudy.
Yeah.
That was.
Uh,
I think Rudy was very much.
well, he was beyond help though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hannah.
Yeah, Hannah as well.
No, she was all right.
Hannah has carked it. No,
I mean, when
she
we-
carked it between adventures.
Yeah.
Did she? Oh, okay.
When we saw her last, she was alive. I
Yeah.
mean, whether you'd call it living is another question.
Yeah.
But she drew breath.
And her heart was beating.
She drew breath and killed her.
Yeah. We left her with none.
You only killed her because you had to pick an NPC to die, so you picked
Yeah.
her.
Nevertheless, I killed her.
Well, yeah, I would argue that point.
It was a mercy.
Yeah, it was mercy killing.
I mean, let's put it this way, Steve. If we hadn't picked her, would she have survived anyway?
Might have done.
No, it's not gonna say,
I'm
is
gonna
it?
fucking know
So
now.
who died in? Sorry, who did we save by letting Hannah die? Sorry.
Well,
No one.
We didn't save anyone. It was just that.
well, only other rando NPC. Like we had to pick someone.
Yeah, we had to pick an NPC that we'd met.
Oh, I see. Right.
You had to die.
Yeah.
And felt close to.
Yeah, it couldn't be rando on street. It had to be someone we had to actually,
Yeah.
had
To be fair,
interactions
it could have
with.
been one of my relatives or something. Whatever, but
You decided to pick Hannah Fleischer.
yes, it was a
Yeah.
group decision.
It
Oh, the
was.
decision was yours.
I was going to say, yeah, nothing
We
group
had
about it.
four about it.
It was,
I
it was
will take
a
my
mercy.
part of the shared responsibility on that.
I think the
feel
group
sorry.
wanted to kill off old woman, Lemon Cake, whatever her name was.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh yeah.
She was the
She
one
was
that
a
was
distinct
kicking the dog.
possibility.
The dog.
Not poor
Not
Frau
really.
Oppenheimer.
She's old.
Cute.
Well, yes.
I was
but
going
she-
to say.
Yeah, and on the
So
other
we
hand,
picked
not
the
massively
18-year-old.
Nurgle corrupted.
Yeah.
But wasn't she
I think
getting-
that she had Lemon Cake was a bonus for her, so that's why she survived.
She's
And
literally
not
just
Kate.
been saved by the fact that she
And-
owns a dog and has lemon cake.
Yeah, pretty much.
And,
That she didn't eat.
Empire
Yeah.
equivalent of Victoria's Sponge. It's not my fault you guys didn't go back for repeated cake sittings.
I thought I was going, if you remember.
Emperor Loophole Sponge.
Nobody giving me cake and like. How it works.
Well, the cake is a lie.
This is true. But given that we did actually very marginally increase the sales of lemon cakes that week in the local area.
We did
Um,
a bit for the
I'm not
economy.
responsible. I'm not responsible, honest, unless there's commission, in which case it's definitely me. So yeah, it does appear that you're probably not going to get an awful lot more out of this crazy old woman. Assuming, of course, you think that she's crazy, she could be, or she could know something you lot don't.
She's not. I don't think she's crazy because she definitely. You said she had the purple around her, which suggests she is actually possibly speaking to spirits.
There's definitely a beast.
Yeah.
There's
There's
definitely
al- it's Warhammer. There's always a
Oh,
beast.
It
They've
would be a
actually got
twist
the
if there
beast
wasn't.
she's afraid of.
Yeah.
The
Sometimes the beast is a man. Sometimes the beast is an actual beast. But there's always a beast.
There's always a beast.
Do be that way, yeah.
If she'd wanted to regale us with stories of, the spirits telling her about these weird fluffy things that lived out in the moors,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
see,
She's
you
like
know,
this-
To be
Describing
picked up,
the,
cuddled,
like-
and stroked gently.
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
describing the Care Bears.
yeah, exactly. I'd be like, yeah, she's talking crap.
Yeah.
She's clearly chaos-bound killer.
I mean, I'm thinking less Care Bears and more the animated gummy bears at the moment.
But she appears to tail off and sort of look it off a little into the distance, like over your shoulder, Ferdinand, rather than actually focusing on you. And strangely silent and just mumbles incoherently to herself a little bit.
I'm assuming I cannot understand what she's saying.
No, I mean, to be fair, not even the Strigony can understand what she's saying at this moment because it's nonsensical. It's not even words, it's just noises.
Okay, so we're not going to get anything more out of her.
Not at the moment, it would seem.
Of sense.
Anybody wish to do anything while on boat?
Can I go back to speak to Ryko?
Can, yeah. He's captaining his boat.
I would like to ask him if they have any stories or tales about said beast.
Ah, he says, you've been speaking to my grandmother.
I have.
Yes, you understand why we advise you not to now, yes?
She is speaking to your ancestors, though.
This she tells everybody, yes. This only started happening a few months ago. Before that, nothing like this.
But I can see that she is speaking to your ancestors.
Oh, really?
Magic.
He crosses himself with some symbol that you don't recognise. There's clearly some Strigony warding against evil.
So, when I say, are there any stories about beasts in the waters ahead?
There may have been. I've not been paying any attention. I may have made a mistake.
Maybe just have your men keep a good watch.
I have heard that the Grousey, the lake and the village that we are going to, it is said to be a haunted lake and has a foul reputation.
There's always a beast. I'm just saying.
And it is true that my grandmother Vadoma passed through the area decades ago and is not so happy to be back here. In fact, she was insistent that I did not take this job, but my family would starve if I did not.
Well, I say, maybe you men just keep a good watch and keeping any weapons close to hand. Yes.
This is good advice generally. We travel the Empire all the time. Our weapons are always close to hand.
Sometimes the beasts can be more deceptive than men.
Give me a fellowship test, Jenny.
I'm going
Well,
to
no, that's a
fail it.
really good stat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You were saying
I passed it.
Yeah.
by how many success levels?
None. My
Okay,
stat is
right.
24.
So he quickly looks around and ascertains that none of his men are actually within earshot. So he lowers his voice and leans in towards you a little bit to be heard. And he tells you that his sleep recently has been plagued with nightmares, and that his days have been mostly spent trying to calm various tensions in the camp. He can't wait for this job to be over so he can return to his kids, currently staying at their grandparents on their houseboat, berthed not far from Ubersreich.
Yeah, so he's dead.
Yeah.
100%.
And he also explains that normally he would be found touring the Reichland with his family, traditionally chased from town after town by ignorant folk who look unkindly on the Strigony, and that times have been particularly hard since his wife died. So when the paymaster at the camp, a dwarf called Thulgrim, offered to pay silver for the use of his barge, transport building supplies from Grousey and Ubersreich, and to help build a mill, the chance. Since then, the money has been consistent, and his employers seem to be fairly loyal, but the job itself's been quite difficult, and he's hoping that that the extra expertise that you bring to the enterprise might solve a few of the problems at the camp.
We'll do our best.
He pats you on the back, and I'm sure you will do your best. We all do our best, yes?
Yep.
And they pay in good silver. This silver is genuinely good. I bite it. It bends only a little. It's good.
I feel like that has some significance that I'm missing, but okay.
Yeah.
See, I know what how biting it works with gold. I don't know how it works with silver.
It's probably worth mentioning, obviously, silver has a thing versus the undead and vampires. If this guy's biting silver coins, he's probably not in league with any vampires, whether they be Tylian or otherwise.
True.
Unless he's just really, really good at covering his tracks.
And hiding smoke.
Yeah.
Okay.
After a few more minutes, you're obviously milling around on the boat, and the crew are just doing crew things. With an almighty crash, barge bucks and shudders as it strikes unseen rocks under the water level. Crates and barrels fly free from the straps that fix them in place, even though they were fixed better than they were before. And the crew struggle to keep their footing as the Trandafir pitches and yaws in the current. The old woman, Vadoma, cries out as she is flung forwards into the foaming waters of the Verfulflues.
Oh no.
God. Tragic.
Who's good at swimming?
We'll have to move on.
Who's got swim as a skill?
Not me, but I would like to point out that if we don't get her out, Ryko's going to, and he's probably actually quite useful to us at this point.
Yes.
I do have swim. So
You really?
Yeah.
You don't sound very, very happy about it, though.
Well,
Can I suggest, if you're going to do this, tying a rope?
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, I've got my hook. Can't I at least have a go at fishing her out first?
Little things at the fair.
Oh look!
For Granny.
Yeah, she hasn't got a metal ring in her.
If you manage to pull her out in one piece, you can win a goldfish.
Oh look!
Just to prove that this is a scripted moment.
We're 2 for 2 now. We're 2 for 2 on boats.
Yeah.
In terms of hitting rocks and
getting stuck.
I think we need to start revisiting whether or not we're spending more time on.
Whoever suggested it was foreshadowing was absolutely 100% right, by the way. This adventure hasn't been planned from before day one at all, honest. So, all of you need to pass an athletics test in order to remain on your feet.
Oh, I should put points in that one.
Nope.
Oh, hang on. Which one of those was mine?
I think mine was the first one. Presumably that first.
Well, no, it genuinely makes a difference because one of those is a pass for me and one of them is a fail.
And both are passes for me.
All that guarantees is that you've passed. That doesn't help Jenny at all.
I'm assuming it's 1 and 2 because you came up first.
Oh, good luck, Jarvis, with that one.
Well, because on mine, my roll is before yours.
Yeah, it'll go in the order. So the 47 will be Jenny's roll.
I'm gonna re-roll mine.
On my screen it says I'm.
Oh, hang on, I'm the GM, right? So my screen's most important. I don't mean it like that, but Jenny, yours is the first one. So Jenny, yours is 47. There you go,
Okay.
GM has rolled.
I'm gonna re-roll because I would really like not to end up in a drink.
It's only
Woohoo!
slightly worse by 2 points.
Yeah. My athletic stat is 4. Wouldn't work for me.
So, nice and simple then. All those that have passed managed to remain on your feet despite the bucking and rocking of the boat. So no harm or ill fortune comes to thee. Those that have failed, not so good. Those that have failed their athletics test are thrown to the floor of the boat, the deck otherwise, and need to pass a toughness test.
That I can do.
Unless you fail the athletics test by 2 success levels or more.
Oh shit.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I might have done.
I failed
So
by
if you
3.
failed it, if you failed it by less than 2, you have to just pass the toughness test, but if you failed it by more than 2, you've got to do something else. Is that what you're saying?
What if you failed it by exactly 2?
I had a mouthful of alcohol.
Benefit of the doubt because I'm a seagoing person.
No.
Bollocks.
Rules as written. Fail the test by -2 success levels or less, or more rather. So yeah, -2 or greater is bad.
Bollocks. Okay.
So I failed it by less than 2, the athletics test. So I took a toughness test and I failed that.
Good. So, Jarvis, you take a stunned condition.
Okay. Where do I make that on? Here we are. Conditions. Stunned. And I have 1. It's just a single stunned condition, I take it.
It's a single stunned condition. Basically, you hit the deck with such force that you're either winded or I take a knock to the head. It doesn't reduce you any hit points, any wounds, but it does mean you're a bit like, oh, fuck.
I mean, do you remember how effective it was when we used it?
I'm trying to find the actual page reference for stunned to tell me how it affects my stats. Here we are, stunned. You're incapable of taking an action on your turn, but are capable of half your normal movement. You can defend yourself in opposed tests, but not with language magic. You also suffer a -10 penalty to all tests. If you have any stunned condition, an opponent trying to strike you in melee combat gains a +1 advantage before rolling the attack. At the end of each round, you may attempt a challenging. So, challenging is, I think, it's a straight test because it says +0. Yeah. So basically, you may at the end of each round, you can attempt an endurance test, and if successful, you can remove a single stunned condition with each success level.
Yeah. So you can actually get rid of it fairly easily, to be honest.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're in the middle of a fight, in which point that's a lot more awkward than it is just sitting on top of a boat. So, Fritz, are you the only character that failed it by 2 success levels or more?
No, I did.
3.
Wait, so hang on. So we've got Reinhardt and Geralt.
Yeah.
Right. So before I reveal what happens to you, do any of you wish to do something to potentially re-roll or make it not happen?
I think I might have a. The problem is my stat on athletics is so.
Well, let's be honest.
I'm just going to accept it.
You're going in the drink, aren't you?
I suspect I'm more likely about to suffer a broken limb.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole host of things that could happen. Paul, you're absolutely right. They could end up in the water. A massive crate of building supplies could fall on them, pinning them to the deck or the boat, or squashing a limb. I mean, all sorts of things could happen.
God. But yeah.
We paint a pretty picture.
That's my job.
I'm going to risk it and take a corruption point. Fuck it.
Good man. I like to hear.
Yes, I passed that.
You do, however, gain a corruption point, though.
Yeah.
So, Geralt, you are succumbing to your darker nature.
It's like we have been doing rather a lot of corruption points recently,
Yeah.
collectively.
I'm gonna try reroll my athletics. It's crap, but it's worth it.
You never know. You might roll 0-1.
Nope.
Have you failed it by 2 success levels or more?
No, just by 5. Thing is,
5 points.
yeah.
Well, that's better. You have to take a toughness test, or you gain a stunned condition.
That's a good point, actually. I will re-roll because at least I might get it down to that instead. Huh.
Oh, I actually passed my toughness test.
Nice.
So you're thrown to the deck and you spring back up again, sprightly with no ill effects.
Cool.
And Fritz, what happened to that roll?
So I've now failed, but not by 2. So I just need to do a toughness test now to see if, it's still some injury, but not the really bad thing. Yeah, so I failed the toughness test.
Okay, so you are also gaining a stunned condition.
Cool. That's better than being crushed by masonry.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, arguably, yeah. So, has anybody now actually failed their athletics test by 2 or more, or have you all managed to circumvent that?
I think we've all circumvented that.
Yep.
Okay. Now, because some corruption points were accrued in that, and that's not the first time tonight, who amongst you has the most corruption points?
I've got 2.
I've got 2.
Is this amongst everybody, the entire party, or just the people who failed?
No, amongst everybody who's currently playing.
I've got
I
3.
have-
2.
I've got 3.
Any advance on 3 for Jarvis?
Well, I'm the same as Jarvis, so...
Okay.
Well, of course,
Right.
if we're gonna, you know, if we're gonna, you know,
Be corrupt
We're gonna
together.
if we're gonna be corrupt, we're gonna be corrupt together. Yeah, indeed. It's the way to do it.
The Boris tour is coming.
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean they're going to have a massive falling out sometime soon and just try
I'm
and
sure
end
they
each
will, I
other?
can't wait. It'll be when Steve sets one of them doing something to the other one that they don't like.
This is probably the time that he's
Oh
going
god,
to
that
do
suddenly
Such a
explains
thing.
British politics right now so much.
it.
I'd never do such a thing.
I don't.
When
trust
honestly, you really think I'm that evil?
I mean, I'm sure if Taryn were here, she would be pointing certain things out.
that. Yes.
It's me, I am fully expecting to get dumped.
At some point there will be a random river of shit just for the
Random
purposes
river
of...
Give us a second.
What the fuck? Okay. Walked out there somehow.
He's still on my screen.
Yeah, I'm back now. Oh, ain't they?
Yeah.
Jake, just have a look at your personal messages, buddy.
Yeah, I see.
Good man.
And it's fine.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
In that case, then hang on, because I need to do a copy and paste. I love having more than one character.
Don't do it, Jarvis.
Do it, Jarvis. You know you want to.
No,
No,
he's
you want it,
laughing, and
Jarvis,
it could be
right.
kill the wizard.
Yeah,
Good.
it's gonna be me. It's just this.
I mean,
You like it, do you, Jarvis?
I need to know, Jarvis. Are you going with that, or are you going to do a blue type and ignore me completely?
So tempting.
I love that Jake did just turn that around really quickly with it. Nope, not doing it.
Far more morally ambiguous. No, I'm gonna. I hear the subtle whisper of Slanesh, whoever it is. You know, the devil on my shoulder. You know, asking me to do this, but I resist the temptation and shrug and steel myself.
Okay.
Was I going to get dumped?
Oh.
I just know you love.
No, it's such an ugly affliction.
It's only paranoia if they're not out to get you.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
I'm not right.
Oh, even though you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. So, there's currently an old lady floating around in the river outside the boat. Does anybody wish to dive in and save her?
Yeah.
The only person with swim.
Yeah, so that might
Who's
be
about
useful.
to drown because he's
Otherwise-
also stunned.
Okay, so tie a rope
Yep.
so we
If
can at least get
you're-
you back.
If you're stunned, Tom, then you can't take action, so you probably won't even be able to, right?
Oh, that's true.
So you would need to wait at least a round so that you could try and pass an endurance test to remove the stunned condition.
course, the Verfulflues is cold and fast flowing.
Does this have to be done by someone who?
Is there?
Someone tried diving the river without being able to swim.
Well,
Can we
that's what
can
I'm
we
thinking, yeah,
can we
but
just throw a
throw
rope?
someone in?
Can we? Is there any life? I mean, well, I know it's.
I think she probably won't see it, will she?
No,
Is there any?
it's blind
I take it
as
there's nothing on the ship. There's no like life rings. I mean, Warhammer.
No.
But is there a rope that we can try throwing at her? You know, if she's sort of splashing around in the water. If we throw it right at her, then she hopefully instinct should set in and she should grab it.
She's a bit blind though as well.
And that's
Will-
the thing,
I
isn't it?
mean,
Will-
if we
will
throw
she
it well
see it?
enough and hit her in the face with it, then
Yeah, if you
No
can
worries.
lasso her from the boat.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Around her neck.
if you basically, although to be fair, if it's like heavy, you know, like naval rope, you could, if you get, you know, you'll hit a square on the noggin, and basically that does it, finishes her off.
Yeah, you bitch slap her.
You throw
Wrap
it.
it around her, the
I'm
rope
just
is
imagining
all
now
back
this,
on the
yeah.
neck.
The rope arcs through the air with a perfect spiral, and the knot at the end of the rope clang hits her straight between the eyes, and she sinks. Yeah. Well, no.
Sure, you don't want to
okay,
be a GM at some point, Paul.
yeah. Is there any rope that we can try throwing to her?
There's a few lengths of snapped rope was previously.
Basically, we need to use up a
hold down.
round before Tom can do an endurance test to try and remove a stun condition. And then the only person in the party who can swim. I'm assuming he's the only person who can swim.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. Anyone else got swim?
I think Pete had it as well.
Oh yeah.
How-
Pete.
which would have been useful because we could have thrown him further towards her.
I hit him to the rope and then swung him round and round and out into water.
I'm stunned too, so I can't do anything. But I would suggest that I'm assuming. What kind of skill test would it be? Would it be to throw rope? Would it be a ballistic skill test? Steve? What would it be?
Are we
yeah,
throwing the rope at this point, though, or are we getting ready to tie a rope?
Definitely, if you're trying to aim and get the rope to go towards where the old woman's being swept away by the current, then yes, it is going to be a ballistic skill
We need
test.
to try it.
By someone
tie
who's
it
not
into-
stunned.
Yeah, we need to tie it into a lasso, tie it and you know, and try and lasso her, or at least get it in her general area, you know, and you can shout at her to grab the rope as we throw it.
Yeah, so I've got 39 for ballistic skill.
Yeah,
I've
so
got 44.
there you go. So yeah,
Yeah.
if it is a ballistic skill test, then yeah, you want the height
Yeah.
first to try.
Yeah, bear in mind that it doesn't include bow here, it's just straight ballistic skill.
Yeah, no, I know, yeah.
You don't
Otherwise it'd
fancy.
be-
Shoot the woman, shoot the lady, put her out of misery.
Otherwise it'd be 50.
Oh, I love that.
Nice.
Tie the rope to an end of an arrow, try
Yeah.
and fire it, and end up like,
Harpoon.
yeah. We've got her. She's now bleeding.
Skills now.
Again, Jenny?
I've got improved heal skills now.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got heal.
We're gonna need that when we drag. If we get to drag her on board, we're gonna need that anyway.
Yeah.
Probably, like
True.
ingested. God knows what is in that river.
So, you want to tie it into a kind of lasso, yeah?
Yes, simple lasso. It's not a difficult.
Okay. So, someone with a decent dexterity is going to need to tie this length of one rope into something useful.
I've got 31 dex.
Surely someone's got higher than that.
This is going to be me again. I've got
30.
39.
Yeah, 33 is mine.
I'm 27.
Jesus, don't ask the wizard to write a letter.
Oh.
This is
But
two
I have
rerolls
the
from the person who's
fast-
got only one portion for.
I have the fast hands talent. Doesn't that do something with dexterity?
I'll look it up. I don't know off the top of my hand. I think it's. I don't think it boosts your dexterity.
You can move your
on the
hands
top
with
of my
surprising
hand.
dexterity. It's mainly though for sleight of hand skill.
Fast
Yeah.
hands. Here we go. Oh, is it? It's not a talent. It's a skill. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's a
No,
talent.
it's talent.
Oh, good, because I'm in talents.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
so
no,
sleight
it-
of hand, melee brawling to touch an opponent. You can move your hands with surprising dexterity Bystanders get no passive perception test to spot you use your sleight of hand skill. Instead, they only get to oppose your sleight of hand test if they actively suspect and are looking for your movements. Basically, it's a pickpocketing skill.
It's for pickpocketing and card
for
tricks.
some reason they made me take it for wizarding leveling. It's basically so that I can do like the fancy David Bowie ball trick with the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
Don't stand on the deck playing with your balls while an old lady drowns. That's just rude.
But I don't think it's going to help in the situation.
No. Is it me
So,
then?
yeah, sounds like it with 39.
Okay, bear in mind
So-
I've only got one reroll.
So not only are you responsible for making this length of tattered rope into something usable, but then hooking an old lady with it.
And I have one reroll to do this one, so let's.
Never mind.
Already.
You are unable to tie this rope into anything like a usable lasso.
Yeah.
It is still, however, a length of rope.
Can any of the rest of us have a go at least?
Yeah, it's worth a go.
Anyone
I'm gonna say that it takes a round for the elf to determine that she can't do this, and each of you will take a similar amount of time. So one round has now elapsed. So those that
But if it's been around,
Wait,
then he could do a test to see if he's not stunned anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what he's getting at. Yeah.
Hang on. So what test is that? Is that endurance? Did you say?
It's an endurance test. Yeah.
Right, let's see what I need on that.
Can I ask also whereabouts along the boat is she?
she's actually down the right hand side, because although she went off front, the boat's button turned round.
Right,
So she's passing by you, going backwards because of the current.
Right.
So she's on the right hand side, roughly halfway down the length of the boat at the moment.
So
When I say on the right hand side, she's not bumping against the side of the boat. She's not that close.
Okay, is she in reach of the pole arm of Tom?
Not a chance.
No, shit.
Right.
Because that was my
passed
other idea.
my endurance test, so I can jump in now and drown with her.
I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
Just to pass my endurance test too, but I just want to note this thing that's the rule that's in here about when you pass your endurance test. Once all stun conditions are removed, you gain one fatigued condition if you don't already have one, and a fatigue condition is still you suffer a -10 penalty to all tests. Removing a fatigue condition requires either rest, a spell, or a divine effect. Though a fatigue condition is caused by over encumbrance or carrying too much, simply changing your circumstances can remove the condition, i.e. if you put down the heavy bag, you're no longer fatigued. But in our case, we were stunned and now we've kind of recovered from being stunned, but we're still fatigued. So unfortunately, you can now act. You don't have that negative condition, but we're still at -10 until we rest, or a spell acts on us to remove the fatigue condition.
Which I don't have a spell for, guys.
Yeah,
It's not heal then, though.
No.
Well, healing's not a
wouldn't.
spell.
no, it's just a skill.
Oh
Yeah,
So are you still diving in for it?
Yeah.
Take
It's
the rope.
been nice knowing you all.
be a -10 to whatever swim test you do. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I salute him as he jumps in.
Waters are chilly, fed by glacial streams running from the Grey Mountains. Anyone who plunges into the water, whether deliberately or as a result of an accident, may be shocked by the cold. See if this occurs, make a +20 endurance test.
Passed.
That's really convenient because you wouldn't want the negative effects. You now need a +20 swim test.
So with the,
which becomes a +10.
Does, yeah, it becomes a +10 swim test. Or you can take another athletics test at +40, which would work out at +30. So decide amongst yourselves which of those is going to be best.
Well,
Latter sounds better. doesn't it?
So it's athletics plus 30 or swim,
Swim plus 10.
Plus 10. So it'll be athletics by about
Yeah,
4
got it.
points.
About 4 points. There's not a lot in it then.
No. But no, athletics it is then.
No.
And that's a pass.
Oh, is it though? That's it. And it's a critical pass, right?
It's a pass by exactly 1 point. I had to get 56 or lower.
Nice. Is that like a critical success though? Because it's a double.
No, because that's a combat thing.
Ah, okay.
Oh, okay.
But some good news. You dive in, and obviously you don't suffer the shock from the cold. So you're like, oh, but you know, take a deep breath and crack on. And you realise that this is a lot shallower than you expected, hence the fact that the boat hit the rocks. So you put your feet underneath you and stand up.
Right.
So are you saying that you didn't need to pass swim test in the first place?
It's so the choice, because you obviously don't know that you can stand up until you get in there. So the choice is you either have the swim test or the athletics test, and whichever one you do, you either keep swimming and you're on the surface and everything's okay, or you find your feet and stand up and like, oh.
It's like deep enough to swim in, but also, yeah.
It's yeah. Yeah, you
I've
can
been
swim.
halfway down the swimming pool, you know, like a deep
Yeah,
swimming
3 or
pool.
4 feet deep.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it's can you not
tall is
just
she?
shout? Yeah, can we just not shout to her? Stand up, you idiot.
Yeah.
Bloody idiot.
I know she's like a little old lady and all, but
All of those on the boat who were neither stunned nor fatigued in any way, shape, or form, give me a perception test.
Oh shit, I need to do an endurance test for that. I just remembered.
It'll be,
Oh no, I passed my ethics test, didn't I?
5 degrees.
No,
See, like, entirety of this water.
No, I failed.
oh, what was it for again, Steve? Sorry, perception?
Yeah.
Yes.
I passed by like 4 levels.
Failed.
I was even with a -10.
Okay.
Mine's also-
Well done, those that have passed. Those that have passed and actually took part and were present for the very first session in which Jarvis ended up in the water,
Oh god.
you see a familiar sight.
Oh, God.
The fin of a large stirpike breaks the surface of the water before dipping back under again, heading in the direction of Verdoma, who's floundering around, doesn't realise she can stand up. And it's not very far away. There's some time, but it's a massive fish and is clearly probably going to try and eat her.
shoot it.
Wait.
Can I
Can
try
I
and hook
suggest
her
you
now?
point out to those of us who did not see it that it's there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
There's a large fish. Lady.
Got it.
Like this.
So,
Right.
You could almost call this a terrible beast.
Oh, wow. But
so
But somehow.
If she doesn't get eaten
all of
by it, she's certainly going to call it a terrible beast.
Yeah,
You say
surely
that,
she-
but I still think there's a tentacly thing up ahead somewhere.
I agree,
Yeah.
I don't think this
Yeah,
is
this can't be the beast of the Orshland, can it? The way she described it. This thing that strikes
already
terror
seen-
into the hearts of men. It's just a big fish.
We've seen this.
It's kind of like
It's
that
just
rabbit
a-
though from Monty Python. It's a bloody
Yeah.
rabbit.
Oh, it's a,
You tit, I sold my armour.
He
So,
suddenly saw me armor. One of the best lines in the bloody movie.
yeah. All right, so we got to try and shoot it.
dart spell.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to use both my crossbows.
Well, everybody roll your initiatives. I'll
I'd
roll
like to
for
stand on the boat
others.
clapping and take no part in this combat.
If you wish.
Shouting my encouragement.
Take it.
Shout encouragement, like, no,
Yeah.
you bloody missed it, you knobhead.
Bear in mind, I don't have swim. I only have a dagger. Then
You're not prepared to throw it.
Does
No.
the fatigue, Steve? Does the fatigue -10 to all tests affect your initiative roll?
Oh,
Seeing
it
as
affects
that's-
everything.
So, okay, so how does that?
Shit.
So essentially, it
that's
means
painful.
that you reduce the, because you're doing 1d10 plus your initiative bonus. You're basically reducing initiative bonus by 1 point. Is that right?
Sorry, I'm currently engaged trying to find my dice. You were saying?
Oh, do you?
Because I've got a -10 to all tests. Obviously, initiative roll is 1d10 plus your initiative bonus, but your initiative bonus is obviously the tens unit of your initiative stat. So I'm assuming I
is.
reduce my initiative bonus by 1. So my initiative
Yes.
is 37. I'm at -10. It's 27. So I'm 1d10 plus 2 rather than 1d10.
1d10 plus 3. Absolutely.
Do I need to? I presume I'm going to be able to try and participate in this as well, or am I in a
Oh,
different?
you're going to need to roll your initiative because obviously whatever actions you decide to take will happen in initiative order. So there is the chance that if you roll low, by the time you get to do anything against the fish, it's perhaps got like 2 crossbow bolts in it and 6 arrows. But
Yeah.
probably unlikely, isn't it?
Yeah,
To be honest,
I may as well roll mine just in case I need to do something.
just in case, like.
Yeah.
You still be shouting encouragement in order, I guess.
Yeah.
Or directing the crew to shoot the fish as well. So,
Got a 10 unit somewhere on there. Mate.
Right. So let's start with Maria. What's your initiative?
12. Fish roll
Jesus
waters.
H. Christ.
Bonus is 4, so.
Okay. Ferdinand, what's your initiative?
5.
Right.
I rolled really badly.
Illy. Fritz, what's your initiative?
3 apparently. Does a D10 have a 0 on it?
Oh, that counts as 10.
Yours is 6, Tom.
Yours is 6.
Oh, sorry, it's the
It's
the
the blue
hash
number.
amount.
The 3 is
sorry.
what the d10 rolled.
Ah, right, that makes more sense. Yeah, sorry, I'm
Yours
60.
will be whatever is plus your.
You're 6, Fritz.
Yep.
Geralt?
4.
Really?
Yeah. I rolled a 2.
I mean, so did I, but
Some
Mine
stones
is
have got a
slightly
roll of fish. So, Jarvis, what's yours?
9.
Okay. Very cool. And Reinhardt?
6.
This is where I find
Oh, and the next one on the list is me, so I better determine the fish, shouldn't I?
This is where I find the dick of a fish has better initiative than I do.
Wouldn't be shocking. with that
possible.
roll.
Yeah.
That is a very bad roll.
Yeah. Considering my standard initiative is 27, so my 10's unit is a 2.
I mean, mine's a 4.
Oh, well,
I still rolled an 8.
its initiative is 30 something, so yes, it's generally better than you.
So I want it to roll. Well, even if it rolls a 1, it's acting at the same time as I am.
No, if it rolls a 1, it's acting at 4.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, you're right, which is the same time as same time as you. It didn't roll a 1.
Oh, that bastard.
Moving first.
Oh. Maria.
Oh.
What else? Roll a 12, of course you're top of the list.
Yeah.
And also, being a bloody elf.
Yeah, I didn't roll very well in general.
What would you like to do, knowing that this fish is bearing down? I say bearing down. It's a little distance away, but not very far away from both Fritz and Verdoma.
Well, I suppose the best option here is isn't it? It's fucking.
Yeah.
It's no better.
Have you shot it?
Oh, have a fuck.
You've lost an arrow to the waters.
Oh.
At least
Why
it's
can
not
I
bad.
not shoot a bow? Seriously, it's ridiculous. I don't think I've hit with what.
Oh, you're shooting the bow all right. You're just not
Yeah.
hitting any target.
Oh no, but you know what I mean. I don't think I can aim for shit.
You're an elf,
What
so you
else?
should be able to shoot.
Darvish, are you sure you want to listen to anything this elf's taught you about shooting?
Always.
You've been more successful.
Yeah, she's training me,
What you
you know, getting us, you know, somewhere.
Because I'm using terrible human intelligence.
Jarvis, it's you to go.
Suppose I better try my own bow, and I try and hit it, but
Oh,
minus
please
10,
get critical.
it's going to be...
That's just
Spear a fish.
Yeah.
make me proud because God knows
Show the elf how it's done.
That would be ironic, wouldn't it?
he already
Shoot
has.
by an elf
He
and
already
then
has
beating
like
the elf.
twice the thing as well.
I'm just checking what I've got to roll under. Oof. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be tough. No. Nope.
I just pat you on the back like it's alright, Minion.
You lose an arrow to the cold waters of the Verfulflues.
Yeah. If it had been exactly half that, it would have been a pass by 1 point. So
The old lady, Verdoma, goes under the water, and there's a series of bubbles, and then she pops back up again.
What gets me as well, like I've got that practical bow as well, so if I'd rolled like 10 under that, I would have succeeded.
So
Uh,
Fritz needs to get to her quick, so he can basically just stand her up.
Well, that's fairly convenient because Fritz, it's you to go next.
Excellent. So, can I just try and rush to her? I must be fairly close to her now.
Rushing, standing up in water, is a little difficult. So, you can either try and keep your feet while you move as swiftly as possible using your agility or your strength. I'll let you decide because they're your stats.
Both pretty poor.
Of course they are.
I'll go with my strength. Because at least I've got a 1/3 chance of success.
Okie dokie.
Actually, presumably though, I've
And
still
you're
got
minus 1
minus-
because you're speed.
yeah, the
Minus
minus
10, rather.
10 to that. Okay, so slightly less than a 25% chance of success.
Is at least still a chance of success.
True. Nope.
Sploosh.
Yes, so you try to power your way through the waters. But unfortunately, the current's just a little bit too strong, and as you lift one leg, it takes your other leg out from under you. And you're swept under the water level just for a second, but enough to consume the rest of your round.
Fair enough.
Worth a try, though. Reinhard, would you like to do anything?
Yeah, I'm assuming because it's a new round, do I have to test my stun thing? My endurance
You can
thing?
do. You can obviously check that. Round.
Oh, well, that is definitely a pass.
You are now fatigued.
Which does what again? Sorry, just gives me minus 10 still.
Yes. But you can act.
You can do stuff.
Yeah.
So is that my round, or do I get to make an action?
Oh, because you passed, so you get to do a thing. If you wish to do a thing.
If I screw up a leadership test bad enough, will it negatively affect people?
Leadership test.
Yeah.
Theoretically, if you screw up the leadership test bad enough, they either don't listen to you and grumpily do their own thing instead, thinking you're a bit of a dick and shouldn't be interfering, or they do what you say and it goes disastrously wrong, and then you get the blame for it.
Okay. Because what I'm going to try and do is pass the leadership test. I basically want to try and I can't think of the bloody word.
If it's any help, the rest of the crew are currently trying to re-stabilise both the boat and its cargo. So they are all kind of busy.
Yeah, I kind of want to like organise the rescue effort. If you like, I want to basically whoever's next after me to act, I want to give them a bonus, if possible. So I want to kind of like pass a leadership test and say, organise the rescue effort. If you like, so point out there's a big fish coming, we need to help now.
Okay, so the character that goes after you next is Ferdinand, the wizard.
Yeah. So if I pass a leadership test, then could I give them a bonus to whatever they decide to do?
You can offer advice, yeah, if you pass a check.
Okay. Well, let's give it a go. What's the worst could happen?
Do you really want to ask the GM that?
Well, it's a fail, but not by much.
How many success levels have you failed by?
Just one.
Okay, that's not too bad. So you start trying to attract Ferdinand's attention to suggest some course of action or spot something or reveal to Ferdinand something he perhaps hasn't spotted. But unfortunately, Ferdinand's attention is firmly fixed on both the fish and his two floundering companions. Speaking of which, Ferdy, what are you doing?
Dart spell.
You say the old lady.
At the fish.
No. Oh, and you could shoot Fritz. Sorry, Fritz.
I mean, what are you going to offer me in the way of correction point alleviation for that one?
How many correction points you got?
2. I mean,
You hear a voice in your head.
I was joking. Okay. Again, I've got to ask, how are you going to make it worthwhile?
You lose a corruption point if you shoot Fritz.
No.
You don't lose a corruption point for trying and failing.
Okay, but I'm still not going to try and shoot for it, in all fairness. So.
Thank you.
He's about to eat my fish, doesn't really need to get shot in the burger.
Right,
No, here's the thing. If you were literally about to die to the fish, yeah, but you're not, so.
Not yet.
Yeah, this
So, okay. I don't need to charge, because I literally just need to pass. Which is admittedly its own challenge at the moment.
Sometimes as GM, you have to make notes as you go along, and I'm doing that. And some of my
So
notes,
that's a pass.
came out of context, are bizarre.
By 5.
Hey,
Which I believe is extra damage.
It is extra damage.
Go on then, what you done to my fish, you bully?
Okay, this is where I have to look it up again. Okay, so it's damage success level, so 5, plus my willpower bonus.
Does it automatically hit the target, or do you have to roll ballistic skill or something?
It automatically hits, because it's guided by my will.
Wizards. Anything worse than wizards is a live elf.
Wow.
So it's 5 plus my willpower bonus, which is 4, so 9 damage to the fish.
Okay. Second, I'm just calculating this. Right. Right. And so, yeah, your magical purple dart of will-powered energy flies out from what, your hands, your fingertips, your eyeball, where you're firing from. Your spell, you get to choose it.
Hand.
Okay.
Full hand pointy gesture.
Could be you, like a national lottery kind of thing.
No, because also that's fingers crossed, which would be weird. But no.
Fingers crossed is actually the holy symbol of Ranhold.
Makes sense.
So, literally darting out from your hand, a purple dart of amethyst energy streaks at a downward angle between the boat and where the stirpike was last seen, disappears into the waters, and the waters thrash a little at that point, and some red stirpike blood stains the water as it's then carried away by the rest of the Verfulflues. You have shot my fish.
There
Is
are
it
some
dead?
really tempting gifts.
You leave my fish alone. I let you save the dog.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Oh, fishy, fishy, fishy. The fish, to be fair, gets nearer to Fritz and Vadoma. Also, rather irritatingly, Vadoma gets nearer to the fish because she isn't standing up. And Errolf, what are you going to do?
Oh, well, I'm just going to shoot it with my crossbow.
Okay, a traditional shot. Do you have ranged crossbow?
Yes.
And it's actually ranged crossbow, is it not ranged bow?
Yep, it's actually ranged crossbow because I've got to choose it.
Okay, fair enough then.
Yeah, it's ranged in.
Was it? I can't remember. But yeah, knock yourself out. Please feel free to actually critically crumble and knock yourself out.
I'll try not to knock myself out, to be honest. That's a pass by 1.
One success level.
Yeah.
Okay. So go on then. Tell me how much damage you caused with my fish.
9 points of damage. And that's at 14, which is... Well, left arm. It's
I'll be
not
the
got
front
an arm.
fin, won't it? Oh, but it'll be the front flippery fin thing.
Yeah.
How much? What did you say? 14 damage?
9 damage.
No, 9 damage. Is it armor piercing? Or crossbow bolt?
No, it's only got impale. But that's only on 10s, if I remember.
Okay. So, oh yeah, it actually causes a critical, doesn't it, on 10s or doubles?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because arrows get the same thing. Okay, so 9 damage minus. Okay. Fish thrashes around again because it's been shot, and there's a heavy oak wood crossbow bolt sticking out one of its fins.
Awesome.
You meanie. Or flishy. Alright. What do you want to do?
I want to attempt to hit it again.
Oh,
As it goes. So, fucking finally! Excited to be doing that. Okay, so that's 2 levels of success, so we have damage. Anything that improves. Finally, the wood elf has learned to shoot.
He always knew how to shoot, it's just you now finally hit.
Yeah. Only don't.
Oh, okay. Right, that's interesting. Doma, unfortunately still trying to keep her head above water, is swept yet further towards the fish. And further away from Fritz. Jarvis, what do you wish to do?
I think I better try and shoot it as well. Again, although I'm still at a -10 for fatigued, so it's
You lose. Is it a crossbow bolt or an arrow?
No, it's an arrow. Yeah.
You lose an arrow to the waters of the Verfulflues. Fortunately, you've not damaged your bow, shot yourself, or any of your friends.
Nope.
which are all indeed possible. Fritz, you're back on your feet again in the water. What do you wish to do?
Right, thinking slightly outside the box here. Presumably this thing, if it's remotely shark-like, would be drawn to blood. Yes. So
Theoretically, yes.
So if I were to stand here now and use my dagger to just cut my hand open, so that
Blood in the water.
I'm now bleeding into the water rather than
You wish to
old woman.
expose an open wound to a Warhammer river.
I mean, it can't be any worse than a Las Vegas swimming pool.
Or indeed a night with Glenda in the whatever its name was establishment that I was visiting.
Yeah.
And it not really fell off. So
You mean back in the scratching post?
exactly, yes.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, it's up to you, Tom. If you wish to willingly cut open your flesh and expose it to the waters of the Verfulflues, you can. Who am I to stop you?
I'm going to give it a go in the hope that it gets the fish away from it, because I can't catch up to her. And okay, there's a chance that in the next round of fire it might get killed before it makes it to her, but I'm guessing once it gets her, that's it. Because she'll just go under the water regardless of what it... So yeah, I'll get my dagger out and...
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
cut
need an endurance test at +10 because the cold waters are somewhat numbing.
Okay. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Let's use a fortune on that one, I think. And what was... Oh god. Right, yeah, yeah, let's hope for a much better roll this time.
Yeah, good luck.
Oh, there we go, passed.
No, that's no.
Okay, so I can reveal to you that you will not be getting any kind of infection from this water.
Hey.
Well done. And yeah, you cut your palm, so lose a wound.
Yep.
And yes, some blood does indeed flow down the river. So if the fish is attracted to blood, there is now quite a bit of it flowing from you, rather than from anywhere near the old lady. Interesting idea, that. Stir pike. Ives under the water. This is clearly getting shot too much while bits of it are sticking out of the water or too close to the surface. And you see it, turn around and go back upstream the direction it came from.
Oh no.
So did that
Not
work?
even.
You've driven off the stir pike.
Oh, that's alright then.
Everybody.
It was so. So you're telling me it was so disgusted by
Blood.
Fritz's blood.
There's
Fritz's
something worse than
pox-infected
Las
blood
Vegas water.
in the water. that
Stir
it,
pike does not want itchy bits it cannot scratch with its non-opposable guns.
Particularly
So
when
therefore-
someone's just shot it in its flipper. So it's
Yeah.
really got no
It's
chance.
really wonderful.
I love that.
Yeah, it's definitely got fins on the side. Flipper, I think, is a little maybe too not a seal.
That's fine.
But
You know what I meant.
yeah. So well done. You've driven off the stir pike, meaning that Vodoma is not eaten by it, and I can reveal to you that she was one round away from getting swallowed whole.
Wow.
So that was quite close, and you managed it by because it's got the bestial trait, obviously being an animal. If it takes too much damage, it thinks, no, fuck this, is not worth it. And it had to take 13 or more wounds, and it has literally taken 13 wounds.
There you go. Nice.
It had quite a few left as well, though, because it started with quite a few. It has actually 13 wounds. Yeah, 13 is half its wounds, so it's got 13 wounds left. So if it was not bestial and prone to running away if it takes too much hassle, then it would be quite a challenge to defeat it. However, you know the old lady has already moved further downstream. And she is potentially not so resistant to the cold waters.
Get to her quick.
Get to her quick and get onto the bank and get her fire going.
Have you got your you've got your sort of boat hook still with you, Tom?
Yeah, I'll just be attached to my back, so I just need to get close enough to her that I can grab her with it. But
I mean, you could grab it by the hook end and just give her the handle end and ask her to grab it. Because there's always a risk that knowing Warhammer that you try and hook her with a hook end and slice her from guts to garter.
Yeah.
And because that'll be it. It's like, oh, test to try and hook her. Critical. You hook her in half.
In one fine move, you decapitate.
Yeah.
Adam, whatever it is.
You managed to hook her very successfully by sticking the hook bit through her eye and hooking inside the skull.
You hook her in the way you hook a fish in the mouth.
God, like that
Open
scene.
your mouth. What? She says, and you ram it right in there. Now, I'm going to be a second because I need to look up the rules for drowning.
Oh no.
Because she's not doing so well.
I need to look up what happens when you swallow that amount of Warhammer River liquid.
Yeah.
I just need to go and top my drink up. I'll be back in a sec as well.
Alright.
Jesus Christ, where are the rules for drowning? Oh, on page 181. That's handy. The damage, drowning and suffocation. Right, if prepared, you can hold your breath for toughness bonus times 10 seconds without a test. After that, you may start to suffocate or drown. If you're unprepared and suddenly deprived of air, you will start to suffocate immediately. Each round you are being suffocated, you lose 1 wound. Oh, it's already been a number of rounds, hasn't it? 4 in fact. So, I'll go 5.
Steve didn't sound quite so enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
I've never killed an old lady before.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never heard anyone so excited about an old lady drowning.
They made me feel bad.
Yeah.
Do you get
It's okay, she's not.
do it.
As bad as you
wild,
were trying to
baby.
make us feel over shooting the fish.
It's my little fishy.
Now I'm
No,
being
it's not his fault, right? Silly little old lady up in the water was thrashing about. That's how he's attracted. He's attracted to other aquatic creatures in distress. And they thrash around in a coordinated fashion. It's not blood that attracts a stirpike. Each round she's been suffocated, she loses 1 wound. She's been 5 rounds, so loses 5 wounds. That doesn't leave her on an awful lot. Should you reach 0 wounds, you immediately receive the unconscious condition. After that, you will die of suffocation or drowning in toughness bonus rounds. Lovely! So
So is she still with us?
well, she's still conscious currently, but there's a fair amount of Verfulflues in her lungs,
Ah.
and an ever-increasing amount of it. An ever-decreasing amount of oxygen. She is also stunned. She's, I believe, when you're stunned, you can't do anything. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
So
On her second round, she's going to try and get rid of her stunned condition. You do that with an endurance check, yeah?
yeah.
You do.
Endurance is based on toughness, am I right?
It is.
-1 because she's stunned, or -10 rather.
Yeah.
Which is a catastrophic failure. So she's still stunned, and she can take no actions. But even if you try to talk to her to get her to do something, she won't be able to do it.
Right. So we have literally got to reach her and lift her out, basically.
All that too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Just to set some expectations here, it is entirely possible that little old lady is about to be swept away and drowned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least he can see we did everything we possibly could to try and prevent that.
Oh,
I think, yes, thus far, I think your conscience is clean. Whether that continues or not. Your consciences are a lot cleaner than your souls so far.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's always been true, hasn't it?
Well, not always.
Yeah.
Sometimes you decide to rob a man and extort things when you're supposed to be saving him from the cutthroaty guardsmen. Conscience probably not so clean there. Errol,
Yes.
what do you want to do? You've seen the fish swim away.
I'd like to try and make a rope, like tie a rope up for a lasso, and try that to stop her from getting any further away, at the very least.
Okay.
I think you skipped me there, Steve. Wasn't I at the same time as Tom?
Well, let me have a look. You are, actually, yes, absolutely. I do apologise.
Right. I want to shout to the crew and actually let them know that the old lady's overboard, so hopefully they can help.
They exclaim in dismay, particularly the captain. What was he? Ryko. He's like, "Oh, my grandmother!" And he's very distressed, but he has to keep managing his crew. And at the moment, they're still trying to get the boat.
He is sounding more and more Tylean at this point. Are we sure?
Yeah, I'm also a lot more further from what the Baileys than I was earlier.
Well, the gypsies travel around, so the accent wanders.
Their accent wanders like their feet.
Yeah.
But it's a good try, Reinhard. Give me a leadership test, like you've tried before.
It's a pass. By 2 levels? Yeah, 2 levels of -10.
Okay. One of the crewmen, who's currently holding a piece of rope that he's just sort of salvaged, it's torn, it's broken, and what have you. He picks it up and he hears you. He manages to make lasso out of it.
That's good.
And conveniently, hands it to Geralt.
Hey.
My turn still goes before Jake's.
Just a point before anyone else does anything. Presumably, they all saw me stand up and walk through that water. So, people don't need everyone else on the boat who watched me jump in.
Well, that would be only the characters then. The crewmen are all on the boat trying to sort the boat out.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I just meant the characters now who don't have the swim skill know that you don't
We could
need
just jump
to
in.
swim
Yeah.
to come in and help me get her.
I'm guessing we have like athletics checks, and I ain't doing that again.
Oh yeah, I'm just thinking if there's anyone with particularly good athletics, they probably stand a pretty good chance or really good strength.
Here's a plus 40 athletics check. If you dive in.
In all fairness,
okay.
it's my go next, and I don't have terrible athletics.
Yeah.
And
Go for it.
far off.
You want to try it, Wizard?
At plus 40, I have to hit 88 and above to fail.
The first check you'd need, Wizard, is a plus 20 endurance test. Do not be shocked by the cold.
Where is endurance again? Why do I never know where endurance is?
Below
there it
drive.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Okay, so you're diving in then, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. With a yell, something like, "I'll save you!"
No. Just
Oh,
gonna do it.
alright.
No yelling. That's a pass.
Okay. So you avoid the stunned condition for the cold waters, forcing the air out of your lungs. That's always a good start. Now you need a plus 40 athletics test to stand up.
That's actually a fail by 1 point.
Wow.
Oh.
So sad, I hate that.
You wish to spend a fortune point.
That's a yes.
There we go.
That's a pass.
Okay. You dive in and quickly orient yourself, planting your feet firmly on the bottom of the Verfulflues, which is a bit stony and a bit slimy, but it works. But now standing in the river. Well done. I'm going to assume you dived in nearer to the old lady than Fritz is.
Yeah.
Is that a fair assumption?
Yeah,
Yes.
you basically walk down the you go down the boat to the closest point
Yeah.
on the boat and then dive in from there.
Okay. Be another athletics check to grab the old lady.
That's a big pass.
Nicely done. You've got hold of her, which means she's no longer being swept downriver.
Hey.
Oh,
That's a good start. But at the moment, that's it. You've done quite a bit, leaping over and getting your feet and grabbing the old lady. So that's as much as you can achieve in this round.
Am I at least
Anybody
holding her
else?
above the water?
Oh yeah, I'll do something above the water.
Drowning and pushing your finger under it.
Die!
The characters on the boat watch the death wizard's grin.
They're
Hold
the only
the
one.
Yeah. I'm the only death wizard.
Stop thrashing!
Make it worth
Just
my
let
while.
it go. Meet your ancestors, you love them so much. Anyway. But yeah, I'm assuming you're holding her head above the water, because that's only a fair assumption, right? I mean, unless you want to be murderous about it.
No.
Does anybody, I mean, given that the old lady is more or less saved at this point, does anybody wish to do anything else?
I'm going to throw the rope out anyway. Just so
Okay.
that we can... If there's any more tests that Ferdinand has to do, then I've got some form of grip on the old woman as well.
Sounds good.
Okay. I'm not going to assist on a ballistic skill test because the urgency has somewhat passed now.
Okay.
So the rope goes in roughly the right direction. Ferdinand or Fritz grab it. Together they manage to get the old lady onto the rope. She recovers her stunned condition but is still fatigued. And for a few minutes, the three of you manage to get on board the boat.
Hey.
She's the only person who's taken any damage. Oh,
Yeah,
did Fritz get any
Fritz.
wounds to?
He got
Fritz
one
got
wound.
Wound for, yeah.
Do you want to risk me attempting healing for one wound?
It's probably fine for now.
Well,
there's
there's a lot of faith you've got in your healer there.
I'm thinking more. We've used quite a few like fortune points and things while this has gone on.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
I mean,
And you can
I've got
just
no
sleep it
fortune
off.
points left, so a crit fail at you.
So I will attempt some healing on her though, because she is definitely
Yeah.
worth the wear.
This is where you fail
It
so
doesn't work,
bad.
I'll try
that
it.
you kill
Oh,
her.
I'm going to assume you failed that one.
I
Yeah.
did, but
I'll have a
that
go.
doesn't count as a crit, does it?
No, it's...
It's not.
It's
It's
a
only
double.
casting that counts as a crit fail on tens.
You want me to have a go at this? Bear in mind my heal is 40.
I mean, mine was 63.
And I have no fortune points left, so if I do crit
I
it,
do have one.
do you
Oh,
want
I'm killing my healing.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
whatever go?
But
Rolls
all
are
I've done is
decidedly
fail to
mixed,
heal her. I've not
so-
actually made it worse, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, failing to heal is better than causing harm.
Considering it's nearly midnight, I don't really...
So, congratulations everybody. According to feedback I've read, most people failed to save the old lady, so well done there.
Hey.
Nice.
Genuine pats on the back all round. By the time the three of you, wet and soggy, bedraggled, tired, and a bit chilly, managed to get back aboard the Trandaphia, the crew and Ryko have more or less stabilised the vessel. Unfortunately, two of his Strigony crew have been badly hurt. One woman named Chella now nurses a broken forearm. Also, a shorter man called Ronimo pants and grimaces as he clutches bruised ribs. Also, Ryko takes you as a group aside. Many thanks to Fritz and Ferdinand. And he explains to you that unfortunately, when it hit the rocks, the boat was holed below the waterline.
Oh,
So it's not going anywhere.
No. So although it's not in danger of sinking because it's already resting on the bottom, obviously the water's building up inside, and the boat is basically buggered.
We're going the rest of the way on foot.
You are. And although he's dismissed obviously Cella and Ronimo, he does ask that if you wouldn't mind helping the healthier crew to salvage barrels and crates from the craft, piling them up in a heap on the nearby bank. It's worth noting that nearby bank, when you were in the water, you were the middle of the river. The boat was between you and the bank that it's nearest to. So getting up onto the boat, you haven't wasted time. You're not going back into the water, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Vodoma, of course, once she recovers a little bit, she keeps chattering away in Strigony, which none of you understand. But when she breaks into a bit of Reichspiel, it's clearly, it's very clear that she's singing the praises of the two of you. As far as she's concerned, you've definitely held up what you said you'd do. You said you'd protect her grandson, Ryko, and you've done that by driving off the Stirpike. And you've saved her, even though her ancestors told her it was her time to go. So she is very, very happy with your Riverman and your wizard.
that's good to know. Let's just make sure we tie her down.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm on it.
Made friends with a little old lady, and now you're going to tie her down.
Either tie her down or wrap a rope around her so that if that happens again, we can just yank her back up on board.
Or perhaps suggest a clever system of a hoop of inflated pig's bladders.
Yeah.
Or maybe, and this is just a suggestion, she doesn't sit on a rickety three-legged stool right on the edge of the boat.
I mean, yeah.
Like, in the middle. Yeah.
She, at one stage, she clutches at your robes, Ferdinand, and seems very eager to tell you something. She's spilling Strigony words out at a fair rate of knots.
Well, if I spoke Strigony, but I don't, so, huh?
She obviously realises this, and she slows down and tries to catch her breath a little bit. And she says that this is incredibly fortuitous, because the strands of fate have been affected by your actions here today, and that you are clearly now ready to face the beast of the Orchlam. And she now, if she were a betting lady, would put money on your success.
I'd have put on at the start.
Yeah. She doesn't know. She needed to see evidence of our heroics.
We lost that. Oh no.
No,
I
man.
don't know why it was showing you offline on one side. Don't know. Weirdness. Sorry. Apologies.
It's probably uninvisible.
My screen, right?
Anyway.
It's on my screen, right? Anyway, given that it is midnight, I recommend that that's a good place to stop. The boat is stricken and you need to go on the rest of the way on foot. You have saved an old lady, so I think you can call tonight a hell of a success.
Yeah, definitely.
By our standards, that's
Indeed, yeah.
And certainly by her standards. It's probably worth me mentioning, when I first read this scenario, I was like, oh, she's fucked.
Wow.
She's a goner.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
No, it's not you guys specifically, it's just any group that I've ever run with before. They'd be like, oh, fuck it, no, I'm not going in the water. Sod her. She's not my grandmother, I don't care.
Sort of.
what
Yeah,
kind of
pretty much.
heartless monster would consider just leaving her to drown?
Every player I've ever run a game for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair cop.
Well, don't tell me it didn't occur to you as well, Tom.
Oh, I totally did.
Oh.
I 100% regretted it the moment I jumped in.
In fact, let's extol the virtues of your characters of the past. At one stage, you were playing a Warhammer 40k
God, this is going to be the one where he
enforcer.
repels down in the.
Yeah, and they were in a library at the top level of a really tall building, and doing some research, and they found what they needed, but unfortunately the corrupted guard and chaos forces were attacking the building. They caused it to explode and collapse in a sort of single towers, not twin towers kind of fashion. And the building was collapsing, so the characters found various ways to propel themselves down the now-knackered lift shaft to get lower down the building. Tom, the 40k policeman, whose job is to save and protect the innocent, disembowels the only innocent NPC in the building, and then uses his entrails to rappel down the lift shaft.
While the others secured a ladder, because this was a 40k library.
We had a ladder.
There were ladders, ladders everywhere apparently. That hadn't been mentioned. It still worked, and I wasn't the only one to use the entrails. I seem to remember Paul followed suit afterwards, and we both slid down quite badly.
I think I was so in.
Perspective, the guy's already dead now. The entrails are there. Might as well use them.
Yeah, I think my character was so in awe of what was going on. It's like, that is freaking cool. It just
Only
just
in the
like,
40k universe.
yeah,
Is that?
is that freaking cool? Yeah, it just didn't really occur to me not to, you know.
Also, in fairness to the sort of cleric who worked the library, he was about to be assaulted by chaos forces. I'm pretty sure what I did to him was the better of the options available to him at that point.
So there is an argument for that, and I'm not going to lie, that is yeah. But still, you could have potentially, you know, like heroically tucked him over your shoulder in a fireman's lift and found some other way down the lift shaft.
Well, yeah, grabbed a ladder and walked him to safety, but that wouldn't have been quite as dramatic, manly, heroic.
Even context of us as a player group in Ubersreich, we shook down, robbed, stole. Generally extorted every penny.
Everyone you came across, yeah. That's yeah.
And the only person we felt bad about was the nun.
Yeah.
Who we didn't kill anyway, by the way.
No, somebody else killed her. Sister Habacorn. She was alright, she was. I liked her.
And we were so willing to let that noble lad.
And to Wendelin young friend.
Yeah. Let Wendelin
when
die.
it came to him, it was basically like, yeah, shoot him. Oh, we'll try and heal him afterwards.
Yeah, like, give me the gold or I'll shoot the boy. And the first response is, shoot him. I don't care, he's not my boy.
He's irritating, go for it.
If you shoot him, he'll be quiet, so get on with it.
Yeah, just do it through the larynx.
Absolutely, yeah. Can you please shoot him through the throat? That'd be really convenient.
Fairness, he did get a shot in the stomach, but
Did.
Again, my sporadic healing skills were really quite successful on that occasion.
Well, this is it. They don't need to work every time. They just need to work a bit of the time to still be used.
More often than not.
Wow. Don't know about that. So just achieve the occasional epic healing, then you guys will still let her heal you. And that's all I need for the potential for it to go horribly wrong one time.
Yeah.
I mean, I am basically Steve's golden goose at this point, in that I have the potential to both screw all of you up really badly and explode myself.
That's it.
Yes. I have the potential to screw you up all.
And you also have the added benefit of just being able to be tortured for being an elf, as far as Steve's concerned.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
I don't know what you
Only having
mean.
one fortune when my healing does go terribly.
Well, that's a game mechanic. That's not me torturing you. That's just
That's
elves
true,
don't have
yes.
fortune points.
That's fair.
It's your fault for being an elf.
That's 100% fair.
Even though you had no control over what the dice roll determined you were at all.
Yeah, it's not like I did this.
No,
That's
it's
cool.
still your fault. So, obviously, give yourselves 100 XP, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And know that my respect for you as a party of adventurers has gone up. saving the old lady.
Oh yes.
I know you can't trade that in for anything useful, but it's there nonetheless. And Holly, when we got actually back to my place tonight, reminded me that you probably need a new goal, short-term ambition for a party.
Oh, yeah.
So, do you wish to discuss and pick a short-term ambition?
Well, surely it's got to be
As we're doing here.
kill the
beast.
kill the beast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kill
that's
the
well.
beast of the Orchland.
Kill the beast / find out what the job actually is.
Yeah.
Well, the job is to build this mill.
Yeah, but it's not going to be to like physically build it ourselves, is it?
It's going to be. We're security, aren't we? So we're going to be defending the mill from the beast of the
From
Orchland.
the beast and anyone else who feels like
slash
trying to
tribal
take care of
marauding
the
goblins,
beast.
aquatic skaven, whatever I can come up with, really.
Aquatic skaven.
In case it's not bestial.
Who doesn't want skaven with gills? I mean, I want skaven with gills.
I think I'll take the beast of the Orchland over aquatic
I mean,
skaven.
personally,
Absolutely.
I'd quite like to face some skaven just so I can scare Valdemar with the corpses or something.
Yeah.
Just these giant rat men.
water voles, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh god,
Chaos Bowman.
it's
Yeah.
wind in the willows gone mad.
It is.
Ratty with his little boat.
Yeah, so you're attacked by a frog-looking beast man that wears a silly train driver's hat and goes toot toot repeatedly as it's trying to stab you with a spear.
That's a murloc, isn't it? Yeah, you just go to murloc. All right.
Just a quick one. Are you guys enjoying, or have you enjoyed the boat trip until it all went horribly wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's certainly
It was
gone.
always going to, yeah.
That's great.
It's gone about as well as the last boat trip, but we
Yeah.
made it. We're not dead. We saved the little old lady.
There are some extreme dangers of travelling the Empire on foot. But I didn't want you to think that there weren't any extreme dangers by travelling it at all. So,
It's a fair cop.
But as we know, staying in towns not safe.
no, especially when it can be attacked by a monster. Which is
At any point.
Yeah. So I expect next session you'll probably, maybe, have worked out what the Beast of the Orchland is and potentially have some ideas on what to do with it. But maybe not. It depends on how you progress.
Burn it.
But you've started strong, so you should feel confident.
Let's assume kill it with fire is a good place to start.
Yeah.
It's the best place to start.
Yeah.
Oh, kill it is actually a good place to start. With fire is just a better place. But it is in a lakeland area, a lowland, boggy, swampy lakeland area. So just beware that fire might not be as effective as you'd normally expect.
I mean, unless there are gas pockets in the swampy bit.
It's potentially
Why
the
would
case.
you put that idea in his head?
These conditions, at least.
I'd like to light my lantern. Boom! Massive explosion.
Oh dear. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Cool. Right, well I enjoyed that. Thanks guys. I've got to
Yeah,
run because
me
I've
too.
got another early start tomorrow morning. But thanks for that. Yeah,
Well, one, two,
enjoyed
to be
it.
fair. Well, thank you very much for playing, everyone. Really appreciate your attendance.
Yeah.
And once again, you've all been marvellous.